How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Everyone says they want to change the world.
But not everyone will.
We are not everyone.
When you're the
limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Star Spangled Batter on Jackson Boulevard in Rapid City, South Dakota. Famous for their delicious cakes, cupcakes, and other tasty baked goods. But did you know they're the only bakery in town to offer free consultations? Not to mention free samples when planning your big or small wedding. They also take special orders for that special party for that special someone. Check out their daily specials on Facebook or call ahead to grab some goodies for the office on your way to work. Star Spangled Batter is a proud sponsor of Rapid City sports and activities on liveticket.tv.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, keep it simple. Insure your car and home with Farm Bureau and you'll have a combined policy with one deductible that can cover it all. That means faster claim resolution and less hassle. Plus, you can save money in the long run. It's the quick way back to normal, because with Farm Bureau, you've got an agent who can make things right when things go wrong. Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Call me, Tom Berger, your Farm Bureau agent in Rapid City, at 348-3470.
A lot has changed since 1962, but one thing hasn't: the hometown service you expect from Dale's Tire and Retreading. Dale's Tire has been providing quality brands and service to the Black Hills area for over 50 years, and we couldn't have done it without you. That's why we are pleased to service your vehicle, saving you time and getting your vehicle back on the road. Because at Dale's Tire, we don't just sell tires, we build lifetime relationships. Dale's Tire, Campbell Street and Deadwood Avenue, Rapid City.
Join the team and take on your legacy. Since 1862, the South Dakota Army National Guard has been ready to defend our freedom and our way of life. When our nation calls, we are there to help our friends, neighbors, and communities in the event of forest fires, floods, tornadoes, and severe winter storms right here in South Dakota. Now we want you to write the next chapter in our rich history of the South Dakota Army National Guard. Visit their Facebook and Instagram pages or nationalguard.com/SD.
My kid wrecked his car, his third car. The kid needs a car. We need the kid to have a car. What did I do? I begged my insurance agent for mercy. That's another story. Then I went to Copern Motors in Rapid City and found a safe, reliable car.
Copern Motors is a small, trusted dealership specializing in safe, quality pre-owned vehicles. No pressure, no hassle. Each vehicle is inspected, serviced, and detailed with a warranty like no other. Copern Motors, corner of Campbell and Omaha.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Matt McCormick, I'm ready to help. Call 348-0464 for surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
Warren Chemical is ready for winter. Are you? They stock quality ice melt products for sidewalks, driveways, and parking areas that will melt ice down to minus 15 degrees. Warren Chemical Ice Melt is less toxic than baking soda, is the least damaging to concrete, surrounding grass, and other plants, and can be applied before or after the snow falls. Available in 50-pound bags and less expensive than the discount store 20-pound buckets. Call 342-7644. Warren Chemical, a proud sponsor of all Rapid City and surrounding area schools.
You've known us as Corey's Tri-State Tire Factory, but now we have a new name and a new location to serve you better. Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service is now open on Camden Drive up the hill from Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City, and remains open in Belle Fourche on 5th Avenue. Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service is the largest independent tire and auto service shop in the region, and we're still locally owned. With that will come more convenient service, better parking, and exclusive deals on top tire brands in the business. We look forward to serving you even better at the all-new Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service in Rapid City and in Belle Fourche.
At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
Hi, this is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show. With big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Hey renters in the Black Hills, I'm State Farm agent Scott Carlson, and I'm ready to surprise you in a good way with surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance. That's right, me and my team can help you protect your car and your stuff for less than you might think. Get a quote and see how much you can save. You might be surprised. Call me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, for your surprisingly great auto and renter's rate today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
When you're the bank, that comes with a lot of responsibility. Security First Bank is the bank that knows your name, solves your problems, and stays flexible to make personal or business banking a whole lot easier. Because when you're the bank, you're built on people, relationships, trust, and straight talk. Security First Bank. We're the bank, but more importantly, we're your bank. Member FDIC.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Star Spangled Batter on Jackson Boulevard in Rapid City, South Dakota. Famous for their delicious cakes, cupcakes, and other tasty baked goods. But did you know they're the only bakery in town to offer free consultations? Not to mention free samples when planning your big or small wedding. They also take special orders for that special party for that special someone. Check out their daily specials on Facebook or call ahead to grab some goodies for the office on your way to work. Star Spangled Batter is a proud sponsor of Rapid City sports and activities on liveticket.tv.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, keep it simple. Insure your car and home with Farm Bureau and you'll have a combined policy with one deductible that can cover it all. That means faster claim resolution and less hassle. Plus, you can save money in the long run. It's the quick way back to normal, because with Farm Bureau, you've got an agent who can make things right when things go wrong. Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Call me, Tom Berger, your Farm Bureau agent in Rapid City, at 348-3470.
A lot has changed since 1962, but one thing hasn't: the hometown service you expect from Dale's Tire and Retreading. Dale's Tire has been providing quality brands and service to the Black Hills area for over 50 years, and we couldn't have done it without you. That's why we are pleased to service your vehicle, saving you time and getting your vehicle back on the road. Because at Dale's Tire, we don't just sell tires, we build lifetime relationships. Dale's Tire, Campbell Street and Deadwood Avenue, Rapid City.
Join the team and take on your legacy. Since 1862, the South Dakota Army National Guard has been ready to defend our freedom and our way of life. When our nation calls, we are there to help our friends, neighbors, and communities in the event of forest fires, floods, tornadoes, and severe winter storms right here in South Dakota. Now we want you to write the next chapter in our rich history of the South Dakota Army National Guard. Visit their Facebook and Instagram pages or nationalguard.com/SD.
My kid wrecked his car, his third car. The kid needs a car. We need the kid to have a car. What did I do? I begged my insurance agent for mercy. That's another story. Then I went to Copper Motors in Rapid City and found a safe, reliable car.
Copper & Motors is a small, trusted dealership specializing in safe, quality pre-owned vehicles. No pressure, no hassle. Each vehicle is inspected, serviced, and detailed with a warranty like no other. Copper & Motors, corner of Campbell and Omaha.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Matt McCormick, I'm ready to help. Call 348-0464 for surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
Warren Chemical is ready for winter. Are you? They stock quality ice melt products for sidewalks, driveways, and parking areas that will melt ice down to minus 15 degrees. Warren Chemical Ice Melt is less toxic than baking soda, is the least damaging to concrete surrounding grass and other plants, and can be applied before or after the snow falls. Available in 50-pound bags and less expensive than the discount store 20-pound buckets. Call 342-7644. Warren Chemical, a proud sponsor of all Rapid City and surrounding area schools.
You've known us as Corey's Tri-State Tire Factory, but now we have a new name and a new location to serve you better. Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service is now open on Camden Drive up the hill from Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City, and remains open in Belle Fourche on 5th Avenue. Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service is the largest independent tire and auto service shop in the region, and we're still locally owned. With that will come more convenient service, better parking, and exclusive deals on top tire brands in the business. We look forward to serving you even better at the all-new Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service in Rapid City and in Belle Fourche.
At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
Hi, this is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show. With big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Were the touchdowns. Now, that's his little skewed perspective. I watched the game. I would mostly agree with it. There's a few other things, definitely. But I'm sure Coach Papinga for O'Gorman would say the same thing. We just had a couple of plays, and then they didn't do what they had to do. So it's a couple here and a couple there. So a couple low-scoring affairs that these teams both played in last week. And, you know, here you are, ready for another defensive slugfest. It was that way with the Raiders, and it was that way with Sioux Falls Roosevelt. So you can put together all of that information and say, I guess we're going to have a defensive battle today. It could be, who knows, you know, every week and every game is something new. But there were plenty of mistakes by all four teams involved in those two ball games that led to what came about as the final score. Same with the Raiders, same with Roosevelt. So both those teams are looking to clean up those types of mistakes. It kind of looked like kind of first week mistakes, you know, a couple of penalties that were kind of unnecessary, some maybe missed assignments type of things, or just some, you know, poor blocking in certain areas, and or you know, quarterbacks trying to get into rhythm with their receiver. So all of that kind of going together, miscommunication and handoffs. If you kind of clean all that up, you're going to get two much better played games. And, of course, you get the two teams here today giving a week. Well, theoretically, the Raiders had a lot of time to prepare. Roosevelt didn't get to start preparing until Wednesday, so short week for them. But either way, can they clean up some of those things? And we'll really see a different game here today if they do.
And last year when these two teams played, again, they played here at O'Hara Stadium in Week 4 of the season, and it was Sioux Falls Roosevelt defeating Rapid City Stevens 42-0 last season. Again, last year, Sioux Falls Roosevelt went 8-1. Their only loss was in the semifinals, while Rapid City Stevens went 0-7 and did not even make the playoffs last year. But I know 42-0 last year, but you expect a much lower scoring game this year, don't you, Dean?
I absolutely do, for multiple different reasons. First of all, the Raiders were already, I believe by that time, had already lost Jed Jensen, and he's such a spark plug for their offense. And so for them to be able to compete the way they did, or lack thereof, a lot of it had to do with Jed Jensen not being here. And by that time, I think the morale of the team I think as soon as Jed was gone, I think the rest of the team, was like, okay, well, so much for this year type of thing. And they really did not compete very well for the rest of the season. It was an okay game against Central, but for the most part, not really a whole lot. On the other side, for Sioux Falls Roosevelt, last year they had tons of talent and everything, a.k.a. probably one of the best athletes in the state in Talon Ashley. Well, they don't have him anymore because he went to Sioux Falls Jefferson to play there. Plus, they're losing a couple of other players. Griffin Wilde and Bo Gibbelin both went to Jefferson. And then Bennett Dannenbring, who would have competed for the starting job, probably would have got it this year, would have been a junior for the Sioux Falls Roosevelt. He went to Sioux Falls O'Gorman. So now you have a Roosevelt team who has to kind of bring back most of the pieces of their skill position players. Everyone mostly except for Tyree Nave. He'll be the running back today, and he's a returning starter. But you got a new quarterback has to come together there, and then you got new receivers that have to see where they fit into the game. One thing that's definitely not different for them is their up front. They're big powerhouse guys that they have. Their linemen, three or four of them are returning starters from last year. Big, physical, expect lots of running today, which usually means a shorter game. But, like we said, 42-0. It's not going to be, I highly doubt it's going to be that way today just because of the way both defenses played last week against their prospective opponents. Just hard-nosed, lots of pressure, good tackling, good ball pursuit. You saw all of that across the board, and I expect that will not change here today.
And, of course, Kim Nelson, the head coach, who has a career record of 303 wins, 136 losses, started his career here at Rapid City, so he comes back to play here in Rapid City, but he always has his team ready to play week in and week out.
Oh, he always does. If I'm not mistaken, 6 seasons is what he was here at Central. As a matter of fact, my wife and I were discussing that the other day. And she was in his class. He was her history teacher. So we were talking about that a little bit, just to show you how far back that was. But yeah, very successful. Went to Sioux Falls Roosevelt and has just had an outstanding career there in what he's done. And yes, always has his team ready to go. And I talked to Coach Nelson, and he has nothing but high praise for both programs.
So we are going to take a short pause here in our J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show. We will pause for the national anthem. We are going to come back, though, take a look at our keys to the game and the starting lineups. We'll do that when we return in 2 minutes right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hey, renters in the Black Hills. I'm State Farm Agent Scott Carlson, and I'm ready to surprise you in a good way with surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance. That's right. Me and my team can help you protect your car and your stuff for less than you might think. Get a quote and see how much you can save. You might be surprised. Call me, State Farm Agent Scott Carlson, for your surprisingly great auto and renter's rate today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
When you're the bank, that comes with a lot of responsibility. Security First Bank is the bank that knows your name, solves your problems, and stays flexible to make personal or business banking a whole lot easier. Because when you're the bank, you're built on people, relationships, trust, and straight talk. Security First Bank. We're the bank, but more importantly, we're your bank. Member FDIC.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
This afternoon, just a wonderful Saturday afternoon for football. The Rapid City Stevens Raiders get set to host the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. Both teams still looking for that first win of the season. Let's take a look at today's keys to the game. They're being brought to you by Dakota Discount RV. Find the key to building lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. Take a look at their great selection of RVs at 2 locations. That's Dakota Discount RV across from Cabela's and also on JB Road in Blackhawk. Again, Dean, these two teams want to pick up that W today. What do they need to do?
Well, there's a whole host of list of things that could happen today for them, but we're going to start with probably the biggest thing. They really got to cut the mistakes down. Both teams made some crucial mistakes at the wrong time, either turning the ball over or penalties, just those mental penalties. Those definitely need to be cleaned up. For the rest of that, for success is they have to get each of their perspective, lines working. The Raiders have to be able to execute on their line and take care of being able to take care of the tough defense of the Riders. The Riders are the same thing. They really need their offense and their line to really start clicking. They've got the defense there. They just need things to start clicking. Get rid of those mistakes. Get your offenses clicking, and you'll be ready to go.
And again, that's our keys to the game, being brought to you by Dakota Discount RV across from Cabela's and also on JB Road in Blackhawk. We are just moments away from the kickoff. Let's take a look at our starting lineups being built by Connect Home Center. Connect Home Center, your hometown lumber yard since 1928. We talked about a defensive matchup today. Let's take a look at that defense for both teams here this afternoon. Starting at free safety will be number 23, Miles Schmaltz. Miles is a 6'1", 185-pound free safety. Also, number 21, Tanner Lunders, a 5'10", 175-pound senior. The linebackers will be number 2, Gavin Skinner. He is 5'11", 190, and a senior. Number 34, Luke Chiolis, a 6'1", 210-pound senior. Also at linebacker, Luke Jaggeris, number 37. He is 6'2", 200 pounds, and a senior. And then at cornerback this afternoon, actually also at linebacker will be number 3, Tate Crossweight, a 6'3", 190-pound sophomore. Your cornerbacks will be number 4, Corder Doney, a 5'9", 160-pound junior. And getting the starting nod today, number 18, Aiden Unterbrunner, a 5'11", 175-pound junior. Your nose guard is number 44, Jevin McNabb, a 6', 235-pound senior. The defensive end is number 45, Brandon Inman, a 6', 190-pound junior. And the other defensive end, number 53, Spencer Garrett, a 6'1", 200-pound junior. Head coach is Michael Scott in his second season for Rapid City Stevens. Looking at the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Rider defense real quickly. Their defense looks like this. The free safety, number 4, Garrett Paulson, a 6', 155-pound senior. The strong safety, number 22, Tayden Nave, a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore. The weak safety is number 2, Tyree Nave, a 6'1", 190-pound senior. We'll be calling his name a lot today. On the line will be the nose guard, number 74, Lane Ferguson, a 6', 280-pound senior. Number 15, Cam Jones, a 6'3", 185-pound senior. And also the other defensive end, number 82, Ty Noctaboran, a 6'4", 200-pound junior. The cornerbacks are Gabe Kranzler, a 6', 165-pound senior wearing number 21, and number 1, Asmaram Muhammad, a 5'11", 175-pound senior. The tight ends are Rich Benenji, number 8, a 6', 210-pound junior, and number 9, Matt Gearing, a 6', 200-pound senior, as well as number 11, DeAndre Joseph, 6', 200 pounds, and a senior. The head coach is Kim Nelson for the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. And again, that's your starting lineups, brought to you by Connect Home Center.
Just a massive defense for those Rough Riders. The line, the linebackers, if there is a weakness, and it's a slight one, it would be in their secondary.
And we'll get to our law on the field in just a moment. There's the kickoff. We are underway. The Raiders have the basketball going up the right sideline. The Raiders take it all the way out to the 40-yard line. That was number 26 on the return, Uriah Glenn.
It was a great wall, actually. They did it right on the numbers on the right side of the offense as it goes from left to right. And a good wall. He found the seam, and he went up the sideline. He got hit at about the 35, but then it kept rolling a little bit farther.
We do have a yellow flag back at the 31-yard line, so our officials will sort this out. And that's going to be a block in the back against Rapid City Stevens. Looking at our law on the field presented by the South Dakota Attorney General's Division of Consumer Protection, here to inform and assist. Today's officials enforcing the law on the field are your referee, Royce Wurtzer, the umpire, Lyle Tolsma, Bo Garcia is the line judge, Randy Stanton, the linesman, and Ellen Schmaltz is your back judge. And that is your law on the field. Rapid City Stevens will be 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line. And we're going to get another penalty marker. So not the way you want to start with the Raiders. 2 quick penalty markers before you even get your first chance to run a play.
Was that not our number one thing? You got to cut those mistakes. And especially for Rep City Stevens. They're going against Roosevelt. They got pounded 42-0 last year. Obviously, it's a different year. Teams have all changed. Different scenario, but still, you have a tough team you are facing here, do the Raiders, and those mistakes have to be just almost nil.
So now we're looking at 1st and 15. Jensen from the shotgun, looks to his left, gets rid of the football. It's caught by the receiver. He's out to the 35, almost the 40-yard line on that little slant route there. That's, I believe, number 14, Alex Trocamoinen.
Yeah, and it was just a perfect, nice little slant route. He kept the defender on his back hip as he made the cut to the inside, and it was a great job. In nice little pitch and catch.
Last week, Rapid City Stevens passed on 61 of their plays, and it was Easton Ogle who had 5 receptions for 82 yards to lead the Raider attack last week. It'll be 1st and 10 now from the 39-yard line for the Raiders, going from left to right. They hand the ball off to Glenn. Glenn still trying to find a hole on that left side of the line. He keeps his feet moving, and he takes it out to the 43-yard line. A pickup of 4 yards for Uriah Glenn.
That's what Michael Scott talked about, head coach of the Raiders. He said, we've got a talented athlete in Uriah Glenn. Let's get him the ball as much as we can. And I know that they kind of started last week, but then he kind of faded a little bit as they were, felt like they were behind. I didn't think they were that far behind, but they felt like they had to throw the ball a little bit more and did have some success with doing it.
Glenn was stifled last week, only had 17 yards on 8 carries. Here's a bad snap. It's going to be picked up, though, by Jensen. Jensen trying to run with the football. Instead, he's going to be sacked back at the 32-yard line. that is something you want to eliminate, are those bad snaps.
You've had 4 plays and 3 mistakes so far. Obviously, you didn't get a playoff when you got the false start, but seriously, I mean, that is just right now. Coach Scott has got to be like, "Are you kidding me? We're facing Sioux Falls Roosevelt, a super talented, tough team, and here we can't even get out of our own way."
Coming into this week, Sioux Falls Roosevelt was the 3rd-ranked team. The rankings came out before they suffered that loss to Sioux Falls O'Gorman, so it'll be interesting to see how the rankings are next week across the state of South Dakota in Class 11 AAA. There's the pass to the left side. Again, breaking a tackle is going to be number 1, Easton Ogle. He does not find a lot of running room as he tries to cut it to the outside. Does get some positive yardage to the 36-yard line, though.
Yeah, it definitely works hard. A nice little hitch route right there. Ready for him, trying to make something happen. They obviously weren't going for the bomb. They were kind of hoping that the Rough Riders were back a little bit in a little bit of a 3rd and long situation type defense. But instead, they did a great job of covering it with that little short one.
We're looking at 4th and 13 now for Rapid City Stevens. Jordan Kinzer is back deep to receive the punt. And it was almost blocked. There's the punt. No one is back deep. They're just going to let it bounce. The Raiders, there's about 6 of them there. They will down it inside the Roosevelt Rough Rider 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's always frustrating me as a special teams coach, is how long the punter takes to get the ball out. It's like you get it, and then you got to, and they do this. It's habitual as a punter, but you need to get it and get going right away. And if it takes too long for you to get set up, those defenders are in there so quickly, and if you don't get a good hat where you need it, it can be tremendous. Like you said, could have been devastating.
Now we see Jackson Brower, the sophomore quarterback, go to work for the Rough Riders. He'll hand the ball off. It'll go to Nave. Nave has a hole on that right side. He's going to get some positive yardage, close to a first down, as he takes it close to midfield to the 47-yard line.
I'll tell you what, one great run that I saw, Tyree Nave on their first touchdown in their game on the first half, which was on Monday. Tyree Nave broke 4 tackles. 4 tackles to get his 31-yard touchdown run.
We're looking at 2nd and short now. 2nd and 1 on the 48-yard line is where they'll place it. They need to get to the 49 for a first down. From the shotgun now, here's Brower. Trips right, 1 receiver to the left. He'll hand it off to Nave, and Nave's going to be tripped up, but he falls forward right at midfield, and that's going to be enough to move the chains for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
And that's what they want. And Coach Nelson talked about it in preseason. He said, I might end up having to run the ball more than I wanted to. And I don't want to say that because that's not his style. But
nope.
And he tried to. He said, but we got behind last week. And I was thinking, you didn't really get behind that far. You were in the game the whole time. But just the defense of O'Gorman was so tough that they kind of had to turn to kind of a throwing game. But either way, Nave got 95 yards. So
right at midfield now. There's the handoff once again to Nave. Nave sheds 1 tackler as he spins out of it. Still on his feet. It's going to take about 3 Raiders to finally put him on the ground. And that's going to be after a gain of about 6 yards inside the 45-yard line.
It looked like that first defender had a great shot at him. I wanted to say it was Trocomonin, but I don't think he's playing defense. Maybe it was, number 44. I didn't get the...
Jevin McNabb?
Yeah, I think he was in there right away. He didn't quite have his head up. His head up was kind of down a little bit, and you got to have your head up and ready to go when you're going to tackle a guy with skill like Nave.
2nd and 4 coming up from the 44-yard line. On that quarterback keeper, they make a little option there, but nowhere to go for Nave. As the Raiders' defense attacks, they get to Nave quickly, and they're going to drop him for a loss.
Yeah, that was a good job by stringing out by the Raiders on that side of the line. He kind of waited for a second. I don't think they ran the option the whole time last week, and he kind of waited and waited. And then when he changed his mind, he threw the ball. It was kind of right at the knees.
It was
Nave.
A low pass.
So then you got to try to pick it up, get it to where you need to. And by the time you're trying to shuffle that ball and get the placement in the nice little pocket that you carry, the Raider defense pursuit was good enough to get there.
6.5 minutes to go. We're scoreless in this contest. Now 3rd and 8 coming up. There's the snap. They fake the handoff. Rolling out is going to be Brower, and he's going to be sacked inside the 45-yard line.
Wow, what closing speed. We called his name all week last week. on the defensive side of the ball. We're talking about number 34 senior Luke Chiolis was just in there. You saw him just jet in there. I said, you're not going to roll out on me. I'm taking him. And so great job. The closing speed, that's what you love as a linebacker. Mm-hmm. You're able to read, find that hole, and just jet right through it.
So now back deep is going to be Corder Doney to receive the punt. Good job by the Raider defense that time to force the punt there. There's the low snap. It takes a bounce. They do get the punt away. Doney will let it bounce at the 20. It bounces inside the 10. Takes a great Rough Rider bounce there, and they will down it at the 7-yard line. So the Raiders will get the ball back, but they will have a long ways to go to find pay dirt.
Yeah, it was a little low line drive, but nice little friendly roll there for the Rough Riders. Yeah, a couple of struggles will look like. This is what Roosevelt looked like last week. They would get a first down, they would make a couple of plays, would look good, and then they would stall somehow. And, that was the first thing that Coach Nelson said to me when I asked him about how the game went. He said, man, we got to learn how to finish drives. Mm-hmm. We got to be able to finish. They had a couple of, obviously, they didn't get the 2-point conversion they needed that would have tied the game at the very end. And they had another one earlier that they missed.
There's the handoff to Glenn. He tries to cut it to the outside. He tried to stiff arm the defender, but instead he's going to be dragged down for a loss of 1 back to the 7-yard line. Actually a loss of 2 to bring up now 2nd and 12 for Rapid City Stevens.
Yeah, that was linebacker Matt Gehring who read that play, just like Chiolis did on the defensive side for the Raiders. He just closes so quickly, and you're right, Glenn's got some speed and some moves, but he just cannot get away from Gehring, who's just bearing down on him.
Uriah Glenn, 5'8", 185 pounds senior, ran for 600 yards last year for Rapid City Stevens. Raiders now facing a 2nd and 12 from their own 7-yard line, going from left to right. They'll put a man in motion, dropping back. There's Jensen. Firing it down the left sideline, single coverage, has a receiver, it's caught by Trokemoinen. He's going down the left sideline at the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown, Rapid City Stevens.
Wow, what a play, what a throw. How about the throw? That was tremendous. He got a step on the receiver. I think the defender got turned around. He had his face right in the face of Trokemoinen and was I don't think he had an idea where the ball was, but the ball was thrown just perfectly. Trokemoinen ran underneath it, took it all the way to the house.
88 yards for Alex Trokemoinen. And in fact, that's the first score of the season for Rapid City Stevens, as they were shut out last week.
I want to say that is the defensive back, like their nickel back, is number 48.
They're going to go 28. For 2. There's a pass into the end zone. It is caught by the receiver, and the 2-point conversion is good. It was caught by Caden Nelson at 6'4", 200 pounds. He's got great leaping ability.
Just one big, huge play for the Raiders, and they are on top, excited. So last week, I think that same defender, and I think it was Walker, Malachi Walker, I think, is the kind of nickel back that comes in, and he did the same thing. He slipped on a route that was being run by Emmanuel Struck by O'Gorman, and his slip was just enough to allow Struck to get downfield and make in all the way to the house. It was like some 70-yard touchdown pass or something like that. Just a nice little post route that he got there. But either way, big mistake. And capitalizing on it was the Raiders. Now they're in front.
They have to feel pretty good right now on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agent Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. It is Rapid City Stevens 8, Sioux Falls Roosevelt nothing, and they have to be fired up right now.
Yeah, absolutely. How about the time? I was shocked about he stepped up, and I thought he was going to dump it quickly, but then he held it. I'm like, oh, he better get rid of it. And sure enough, he was able to set his feet and let it fly.
So again, the Raiders will kick off. We want to thank you for tuning in this afternoon for high school football, our second weekend of high school football action on a Saturday afternoon. I kind of like these Saturday games, Dean.
Oh, yeah, nice little, come on, a little spend a Saturday doing some ball. It's kind of college-like. You think? Maybe, I don't know.
So the Raiders get set to kick off from their 40 again, going from left to right. Just a short kick, and it is going to go out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and here comes the penalty marker. Not exactly sure that's what the Raiders wanted to do there on such a short kick.
Yeah, I think maybe they were trying to angle it more and try to hit the guy that was kind of right about the 40-yard line in that area and just try to put it where it needed to be. And we've seen that kind of more and more, lately. Is that like the new thing?
I guess. I guess it is.
If you don't got a guy that can put it in the seats, the winds, he's kind of going against the wind, but there's a lot of speed and skill on the return team for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. So I'm sure they were probably thinking, let's not put it in their hands, either squib it or put it over in an area. But I don't think they wanted it to go out of bounds.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Sioux Falls Roosevelt, going from east to west here at O'Hara Stadium. Again, Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr with you at the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Rolling out, Brower gets rid of the football on a little out route there. It's going to be a short gain to the 42-yard line for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Yeah, that was DeAndre Joseph. They ran that a couple of times last week, connected once and missed one, but it's a nice little safe play. Coach Nelson was pretty high on Browers coming in. He said he played well. He thought he played well. Made some good throws. Threw one interception, but he thought his percentage, could have been about 70%, which is pretty darn good for a high school athlete.
Trips right, one receiver to the left. Brower from the shotgun takes the snap. Little hook route there. He's going to get the receiver, and he's going to make the catch. Number 14, John Parker, on that curl route there, just shy of the 40-yard line.
And John Parker, if I'm not mistaken, was the guy that made an amazing catch for them right at the goal line that enabled them to, or actually I think made the score for them, that gave them their second touchdown when they were just a 2-point conversion away from tying it up with less than a minute to go in that game against O'Gorman.
The Rough Riders now in Raider territory on the Raider 43-yard line. They'll go from the shotgun, a high snap. It's tapped, though, into the hands of Brower. Brower, who had to, he didn't have a lot of time to make a play happen. He had to run for his life, and he's going to be sacked for a loss of 3 yards, I'm sorry.
And guess who? Luke Chiolis just it's like you don't even see him. We're watching the backfield, and, he picks it up, and it was a broken play. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes Chiolis, just boom, exploding down the line. You're like, man, that's what you want in your linebacker. Just explosive, speed, quickness. Love it. Anchoring the middle of that Raider defense.
Yeah, Brower that time had to tip the ball to himself, and that gave that Raider defense a chance to get in there. Here's Brower now. He'll roll out to his right, passes the football, and it's going to be batted down by the Raiders.
Nice job. There was a nice little opening right in the zone. I thought when that ball got let loose, I thought, that guy's wide open, but nice job by the Raiders getting a big mid up there. I didn't see who knocked it down, but either way.
They're fired up right now.
Yeah, they are heavily fired up, and the Rough Riders aren't quite clicking on what they need to be at the moment, but there's definitely tons of intensity.
2 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Again, Rapid City Stevens leading Sioux Falls Roosevelt 8-0 on the State Farm scoreboard. It'll be 3rd and 14 coming up for the Rough Riders. Brower from the shotgun. And I think I heard, we're going to have a delay of game, I believe.
Wow, that was. And, they had one of those last week, and the official, I think they were confused, and then they had to talk to the coach. And then they walked over and you saw him demonstrating to the official, look, when you see the back judge stick his hand up, he's got 10 seconds. And then when you see him counting down, he's got 5.
So they will move the ball now back. So the Rough Riders going in the opposite direction here. They're pushed back now to their own 47-yard line. They're facing a 3rd and 20. Here's Brower. He's going to roll out to the near side here. Gets the pass away. A nice catch there by number 3 for the Rough Riders. That's going to be Jordan Kinzer.
And that was the same formation that they scored. And it was my mistake. It was DeAndre Joseph that caught that touchdown pass for them. On a 4th and 10, he gets one catch, and it was a 31-yard touchdown pass with under a minute. But that was the same formation. And he was the middle guy, and he ran right in the middle of the field, and it was a great delivery by Brower.
On 4th down now, the Rough Riders will go for it. We're going to get a penalty that looks like a offsides against Rapid City Stevens. And on 4th and 4, that's going to be enough for a first down.
Man, what do you do? I don't even know how to say it. You're like, he's got to be coaches. If he has any hair, I don't know if he has any. Like me, doesn't have any, but he's got. I mean,
it's just a tough break
right,
there.
It is.
You're trying to hold him on 4th down, and then you give him the easy first down.
You're physically doing well. You're having your way at the moment with this team, the number 3 team in the state, and you can't help but beat yourself on the head.
So now 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line of the Raiders. Dropping back, Brower. He's going to pass down the middle of the field. The ball is up, and it's going to be batted down or broken up there by the Raiders. Or was it caught? It was caught.
Tipped and caught. That was great
John
defense,
Parker.
And you're just in the right place at the right time. How about that? You know what? And that doesn't, well, maybe it does. It doesn't happen in that situation if they don't have that. They might have punted. So now you have a first down. They go for the shot.
They'll be 1st and goal from the Raider 4-yard line. So things starting to fall in place for the Rough Riders at the moment.
Well, at least the ball falling in place.
Absolutely. John Parker able to make that fantastic catch there. They're going to hand that ball off to Nave. Nave goes right up the middle of the field. He's going to come up short down to the 1-yard line to bring up 2nd and goal now for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
And that was a play they ran last week to try to get that 2-point conversion, and O'Gorman just stuffed the middle of it. And actually, Nave actually fumbled the ball at the 2, and O'Gorman recovered it. Obviously you don't get anything out of it, but you at least stopped them from making that 2-point conversion.
A minute 40 to go here in the first quarter. 8-0, the Raiders on top. 2nd and goal for the Rough Riders. They'll hand the ball off to Nave, and he's kind of stumbles there, and he's going to be held out of the end zone once again. So now we're looking at 3rd and goal.
If you look at, if you're going to evaluate Sioux Falls Roosevelt right now, you're thinking they're struggling to execute, they got these big, powerful guys up front, and they can just do some things, but their execution is just not quite at the level that it needs to be.
Raiders trying to hold their ground. It's a high snap, and running it down is Brower. He has to just fall on the football back at the 16-yard line. So we've seen some miscues by Sioux Falls Roosevelt. They looked like they were ready to punch it in, and just like that, they're now back at their 16-yard line.
Going back to what Coach Nelson said, we got to be able to finish. First words out of his mouth, we have to be able to finish. We could not finish in that game, and that's what's going on right now. They can't finish. Now, here's the silver lining to this. They now have a lot more space to make a play on a pass pattern.
4th and goal,
which is going to be a struggle.
From the shotgun, they fake the handoff to Nave, rolling out to his right, and then passing back to Nave on a little screen pass. Has some blockers in front of him. He's at the 10, and he's going to be stopped at the 7-yard line on 4th down, and that will now be Raider football.
So if you're watching film, and I'm sure the Raiders did, that exact play was what kept the drive alive for Sioux Falls Roosevelt and allowed their first touchdown in the last game. They ran that exact play. They rolled out to the right. I even wrote it down. 4th and 7, they threw with 40 seconds left to go in the half. They threw a back. Actually, that didn't lead to the touchdown. I'm sorry. That was the same sort of execution at the end of the half. 4th and 7, they threw a back screen with 40 seconds left. Nave nearly fumbled the football, and they were unable to punch it in and did not get the score going into the half.
Raiders with 6 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter. There's the handoff to Glenn. Glenn still on his feet, takes it from the 6 out to about the 8-yard line, so a gain of 2. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter after 1 on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. It's Rapid City Stevens 8, Sioux Falls Roosevelt nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute right here on 106.7.
Star Spangled Batter on Jackson Boulevard in Rapid City, South Dakota. Famous for their delicious cakes, cupcakes, and other tasty baked goods. But did you know they're the only bakery in town to offer free consultations? Not to mention free samples when planning your big or small wedding. They also take special orders for that special party for that special someone. Check out their daily specials on Facebook or call ahead to grab some goodies for the office on your way to work. Star Spangled Banner is a proud sponsor of Rapid City sports and activities on liveticket.tv.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, keep it simple. Insure your car and home with Farm Bureau, and you'll have a combined policy with one deductible that can cover it all. That means faster claim resolution and less hassle. Plus, you can save money in the long run. It's the quick way back to normal, because with Farm Bureau, you've got an agent who can make things right when things go wrong. Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Call me, Tom Berger, your Farm Bureau agent in Rapid City, at 348-3470.
And welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr with you on this Saturday afternoon as we start the second quarter. Rapid City Stevens leading Sioux Falls Roosevelt 8-0 is your score as the Raiders scored on a 88-yard touchdown pass to Alex Trokamoinen. Now the Raiders have the ball once again. This will be their third drive this half. They were forced to punt on their first drive. They did have the touchdown on their second drive. They're facing a 3rd and 8 deep in their own territory from their own 8-yard line. They'll spread it out now. Uriah Glenn lined up to the left of Jensen. Jensen from the shotgun. Drops back. Throws it right down the middle of the field. Has a receiver. That's Ogle. Ogle takes it out to the 35-yard line and close to the 40-yard line. A nice run or nice play that time by Easton Ogle right down the middle of the field.
I'll tell you what, some great execution that time by the Raiders on offense. We had a cornerback blitz coming in. That was number 22. Taden Nate was coming in. Ben Goldie did a great job. He kicks him out, gives enough time for Jensen to deliver that strike, which is just a nice little post pattern right through the middle of the field. And you saw the speed of Ogle being able, like I said, if there is a weakness for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, it might be their secondary.
And Jensen getting so much confidence right now. Again, from the shotgun, has a screen pass to that left side. That goes to number 5. That's going to be Caden Nelson. Just gets a little or a few yards on that pass play.
It's doable. I think he got 4 on that. Yep. 3 to 4.
We'll say 3. So we're looking at, what did they say, 4 on the scoreboard? You were right, Dean. Yeah. So we'll go 2nd and 6 now.
As my old coach says, hey, if you do the math, and I don't think he was a math major, but he said if you do the math, if you got 4 downs and 3 yards a down, that's 12 yards.
2nd and 6 from the Raider 43. Like I was saying earlier, I think Jensen, he's a junior quarterback, second season, and it just, didn't even get a full season last year, but he's seems to be, in this ball game, has a lot of confidence and starting to get good rapport with his receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. And Julian Scott hasn't even got the ball yet, and he made some plays last week too.
He did. Julian Scott had 6 receptions for 24 yards. So again, it didn't translate into a lot, but they threw him the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, and Coach Scott talking to Nate Brown this week was high on both of them, both on Ogle and Scott, saying, these guys are some playmakers. They're my slot guys. They can do, lots with it. You put Trokamoinen on the outside and put some speed under him, and yeah, it's a nice little complement of receivers that you got. And then you get Uriah Glenn to sneak out of the backfield. If you can't get a running game going, there's definitely plenty of talent to the Raiders. If they can just get the ball in the hands of their skill players, then they can do some things. And we've seen it here today already. A couple great plays. And I think they kind of figured it out last week in that second half. They weren't able to punch it in those 2 drives that they had. But they realized, hey, I've got a quarterback that's mobile and has got a decent arm. And I've got some skill players that can get open. Let's make that happen.
Here come the Raiders coming out of that timeout. They'll come back to the line of scrimmage, facing a 2nd and 6 from their own 43, going from right to left or east to west here at O'Hara Stadium. Jensen from the shotgun hands the ball off to Glenn. Glenn has an opening on that right side, but it collapsed quickly as he was thrown to the turf at maybe a gain of a yard on that running play.
Yeah, and Dylan Prisbilla, who is spelling normally the guard or offensive lineman, comes in, does a little defensive. Comes in, his helmet he tackled him so hard his helmet flies off onto the ground, but either way.
And Prisbilla, a big guy, 6'3", 280 pounds.
Yeah, and, Coach Nelson has a lot of guys, maybe more than he wants, going both ways. So in this heat, it's not super hot, but it's hot enough on the field.
3rd and 5 from the shotgun. They fake the handoff. There's the pass on single coverage going out of bounds. Was Trocamoin, and he's able to make
he's saying no.
They say he stepped out of bounds.
Stanton said no.
It was right in front of us, in front of the Rough Rider bench. And they're saying he did not get his feet in bounds. Made a nice catch.
I think the defensive coordinator, I don't know exactly who it is, but the guy right in front of him, who looks like a little Kim Nelson, I'll just tell you that right now, he kind of had that look, and he's saying no, helping the official out.
So that's an incomplete pass. So the Rapid City Stevens will be forced to punt for the second time today. Again, they're facing a 4th and 5 with 9:13 to go, and they will send the special teams unit out and then have their defense go to work.
And this is where one of the areas where they struggled mightily last week, and they just did it again, is in the punt coverage. They couldn't get punts away very well. This one was a good punt, but a horrible snap.
No one was back deep, and so the Raiders get that friendly bounce. They're trying to wave it to go farther, and it's going to go all the way down to the 3-yard line.
Do you know it's illegal to blow on the ball?
I did not know. One kid was waving at it, though.
That's legal. You just can't blow on it. That's one of those little odd rules. I'm pretty sure of that. I might have to ask one of my referee buddies. But
nonetheless, Sioux Falls Roosevelt now will have it deep in their own territory. Again, they've had the ball twice today in this first half. They were forced to punt, and then they had a turnover on downs. And they were so close. They were in,
Yeah, it was inside the
5 and just could not get it in.
And the Raiders, practically handed it to them. They gave them a 4th down offsides, and it was just oh.
So now we'll see the Raider defense go to work. It'll be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, or first down from the 2-yard line. They hand the ball off to Tave. Tave has some running room, still on his feet. No, that was not Tave. That was number 41. So that's going to be
Nelson Wright.
Yep, Nelson Wright, the 5'10", 185-pound junior. So Wright that time gives the Rough Riders some breathing room as he takes the ball out to the, it looks like the 17-yard line.
Yeah, nice little up the gut middle. Like I said, there's such a... You saw Prisbilla come off when he made that defensive stop there, losing his helmet. And he's a big, powerful offensive guy. So I wonder if I give him a little bit of extra boost that they need to get out there and get some solid blocking.
Here's Brower from the shotgun. He'll hand the ball off. This is going to be, Nelson. Again, Nelson on that left side has some running room. He's broke a couple of tackles, and he takes it all the way out to the 45-yard line. Just like that, Nelson comes in. That's Nelson Wright.
Yeah, Nelson Wright.
And he's able to have a couple of big runs for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
5'10", 185 junior. And he's coming in and he's saying, Nave who? No, Nave's a talented player and all that, but, he just didn't quite do a few things so far. And so I think, the coach is going to have him sit down for a second, let this new guy come in and let him do some work.
And we see Tyree Nave on the sideline there. They're going to hand the ball off again to Nelson Wright. This time he goes right up the middle, but the Raider defense able to build a wall there. They stop him after a gain of about 2 yards, just shy of the 45-yard line.
Well, I think probably what is Nave also plays defense, so they've been out there quite a while. Yep. And like I said, it's not super hot out, but it's got to be like upper 70s, I think, or something like that. And it's probably 85 at least on the field, which is plenty hot when you're out there.
Well, we're 76 degrees right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 85 on the field. Just that.
And you got all that gear on, too.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Again, 2nd and 8 from the Rough Rider 45-yard line, and it looks like a timeout. Sioux Falls Roosevelt didn't like something they saw or, the matchup they had there.
Coach Kim Nelson said, come on over, let's do some talking a little bit. He's got to put something together. He always does. I know Coach Nelson said, when I talked to him this morning, he said, you know what, I kind of changed up the blocking schemes in the second half of that game, and I don't think it was beneficial for our running game. So he said, I need to do a better job of calling a game, and so he talked about that a little bit. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he's seeing something here today, and he has to make those adjustments.
So far, Dane, through a quarter and a half, though, we've seen the Raider defense, just like last week. I think Michael Scott has to be pleased with. His defense has showed up this year and has been the strength of this ball club.
Oh, my gosh. They are just, the linebacking core, and they are all over the field. And if it wasn't for the mistakes by the offense, we might be saying the 1-0 Raiders coming in because of the mistakes last week. And right now we might be saying, the score could easily be 14-16-0.
That linebacking crew of Tate Crossweight, Gavin Skinner, Luke Cholis, and Luke Jagaris. So we're looking at 2nd and 8 now for the Rough Riders. Here's Brower from the shotgun. Jackson Brower takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks down the left side. It's single coverage, throws it up for grabs, and it's almost picked off by the Raiders.
Just excellent, absolutely excellent coverage was that. Corderdoni was step for step with the receiver. The ball was slightly underthrown, and he did. He's made you get out of the hardwood. He boxed the receiver out is what he did. Exactly what you're supposed to do. You keep running. You stick your hand on the hip of the receiver. You turn your head, which is it's hard to do to your hand, your head, and to keep running full out that way. And he right there, and the ball hit him right in the breadbasket. It looked like he just needed fielding a punt, but just couldn't come up with it.
So the incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 8. Brower again drops back, throws down the middle of the field, has a receiver. He makes the catch, and he's going to take it inside the 35-yard line, number 22 for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. That's going to be Taden Nave.
Yeah, a nice strike, and he kind of felt the pressure coming right in on his backside. I think he got hit right as he delivered the ball, but a nice little strike, a nice little post route right in the middle. Helps make up for that incomplete pass and near interception.
21-yard gain that time on the reception by Taden Nave. That'll march it down to the Rapid City Stevens 34-yard line. Again, the Rough Riders go from left to right here at O'Hara Stadium. 6:42 remaining here in the second quarter. There's the handoff, and immediately Nelson Wright is going to be tackled in the backfield.
Yeah, Gavin Skinner right there, the linebacker, comes right in and says, not on my watch. So obviously a missed assignment there that time by the Rough Riders. And I think there was a blocker right there, and I think he went right around the blocker to kind of wrap him up right at the legs.
That's going to be a loss of 4 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 14 now. Again, the Raiders lead Sioux Falls Roosevelt 8-0 on the State Farm scoreboard. Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr with you on Fox Sports Rapid City. Dropping back as Brower escapes one tackle, gets rid of the football, but he underthrows it for Taden Nave. And it's going to just hit the ground there. Incomplete pass. Now 3rd down coming up for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, there were a couple of Raiders causing problems there. One of them was number 45 for the Raiders, which is Brandon Inman on there as well. And I think it was Skinner in on that too. Oh, no, that was Corderdoni actually on a corner blitz.
Now we're looking at 3rd and 14. Jackson Brower goes from the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on the left side, hash marks. He backs up, throws down the middle of the field. Again, there was contact.
Flag, yep.
And here's the back judge. A couple of flags come flying in there.
Yeah, we'll see what they're going to talk about. But, it was easy. He was there well before the throw, unfortunately, which was too bad because he was right there. He could have actually made a play on it. But instead, I think he was just trying to time the hit so when he caught it, and it was just a little bit early.
Maybe, timing it so he could maybe jar it loose or, knock it down. So, again, pass interference, so that will move the football to the 23-yard line of Rapid City Stevens. A couple of times now, one on a 4th down play, now this one on a 3rd down play. The Rapid City Stevens just had some penalties that just, kind of cost them and gave the Rough Riders that 1st down.
Yeah, the first one was a mental one. This one was just being a little bit too aggressive, which you like, and you're just like, oh.
Brower drops back. He'll roll out to his right. Gets rid of the football. Is picked off by Rapid City Stevens at the 30, the 40, down the left sideline. He's into Rough Rider territory. The 30, the 20, the 10, and touchdown for number 19, Aiden Unterbrunner.
Getting the start today. The pressure on the backside, trying to throw when you're on the run, was Brower, and he just underthrew his receiver, who was kind of settling along the sideline and stepping underneath it and going all the way the other direction to the house. The pick six, giving the Raiders a 14-0 lead.
About how far do you think that was? Did he pick it off at about the 15 maybe?
I know, I would have said about the 25.
About the 25. So at least a 75-yard pick six there for Aiden Unterbrunner. Again, Aiden getting the start today. He's a 5'11", 175-pound junior. And boy, did he make his mark felt here this afternoon. Right now it's 14-0. The Raiders attempt that extra point. That's number 31, Parker Messmer, who will be out there for the extra point attempt. The holder will be number 5, Caden Nelson. There's the snap. There's the kick. It is up, and it is through the uprights. 5:35 to go here in the second quarter. And on the State Farm scoreboard, it's Rapid City Stevens 15, Sioux Falls Roosevelt nothing. We're back in 30 seconds right here on 106.7.
A lot has changed since 1962, but one thing hasn't: the hometown service you expect from Dale's Tire and Retreading. Dale's Tire has been providing quality brands and service to the Black Hills area for over 50 years, and we couldn't have done it without you. That's why we are pleased to service your vehicle, saving you time and getting your vehicle back on the road. Because at Dale's Tire, we don't just sell tires, we build lifetime relationships. Dale's Tire, Campbell Street and Deadwood Avenue, Rapid City.
We're back here at the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and side-by-sides. Again, with Dean Gurr, I'm Jerome Wickersham. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon, and what a contest so far as the Rapid City Stevens Raiders break out to this 15-0 lead over Sioux Falls Roosevelt as both teams seek that first win of the season.
Yeah, and now it's time for the special teams to step up a little bit. You know, sometimes you'll see you're high in intensity and everything, and you got to make a play, and all of a sudden they take one back to the house.
There's the kickoff by Rapid City Stevens, taken at the 5-yard line by Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Running clear across the field is Tyree Nave, and he is stopped just shy of the 10-yard line.
Caden Nelson took it all upon himself, was not blocked, came right, he was like the gunner, right through the middle of the field, and absolutely ran down the kick returner. I kind of thought, oh man, that's one of the reasons why they didn't kick it deep last time, because these guys have got great skills in their returners. But Caden Nelson said, you know what, I got some skills of my own, and I'm going to come and make a tackle.
You know, Tyree Nave, that time, instead of running east-west, he was running more north-south, covered a lot of area, but only got about 4 yards on that return.
Well, directionally north and south, but when you're on the football field, that's technically east and west, as you look at it. I mean, that's how they do.
Yeah. So deep in their own territory, 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. From the shotgun, Brower hands it off. It'll go to Nelson Wright once again. He takes it to the outside, gets to the 20, flag on the field, and he's going to break it loose to about the 30-yard line. But I see a penalty marker back there at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a hold on Sioux Falls Roosevelt, because right at that attack, right where Nelson kind of came through that, is it Nelson is his first name, right? Nelson Wright. Nelson Wright, right? Right. Okay. Right where he came, there was kind of right at the defensive end there. I think he was getting held, but I see the Roosevelt's kind of clapping, so let's see what happens here. Oh, it is. It is against him, so maybe he's just encouraging his teammates, but either way, they're going to back it up a little bit. So, the mistakes, mounting for both sides, causing issues. And that was one of the things coming into, we talked about, both teams had many issues, whether it was turnovers or penalties or whatever it is coming into the game, and which team can right them. Well, at the moment, neither team is really doing the greatest. It's just the Raiders are becoming the beneficiaries of the mistakes of the Riders.
And Rapid City Stevens now is going to take a timeout with 5:21 to go here in the second quarter. Again, it's Rapid City Stevens 15 and Sioux Falls Roosevelt nothing on the State Farm scoreboard. We will take a quick break as well. Again, it'll be a 30-second timeout right here on.
Join the team and take on your legacy. Since 1862, the South Dakota Army National Guard has been ready to defend our freedom and our way of life. When our nation calls, we are there to help our friends, neighbors, and communities in the event of forest fires, floods, tornadoes, and severe winter storms right here in South Dakota. Now we want you to write the next chapter in our rich history of the South Dakota Army National Guard. Visit their Facebook and Instagram pages or nationalguard.com/SD.
And we're back here at the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. There's the handoff.
A little screen pass
there.
Yeah, screen pass to the right side. The Riders do a good job of blocking that. He's got plenty of room. Did he get the first down? Yep, he was good enough for the first down. So a nice little, short little pickup. And I'm sure the Raiders are thinking, it's 5 minutes, so you don't want to play prevent, obviously, with 5 minutes left, but they're probably thinking maybe slightly less aggressive, or maybe they're thinking super aggressive, but at the moment, they're kind of back a little bit.
Matt Gearing makes the catch that time, the 6', 200-pound senior. That gives the first down to the 20-yard line, or 21-yard line. Dropping back is Brower on the quarterback keeper. He's at the 25, tries to juke a player. Still on his feet, though. Finally brought down at the 28-yard line. Or 27-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 6.
It was like the parting of the Red Sea right there. When he kind of dropped back, all of a sudden, he probably saw the other side, of the Red Sea and was like, hey, I'm going for it. And he kind of took off. One Raider had a shot at him, but kind of slipped as he was trying to make the tackle. So he gets a good gain on a nice little, I don't think it was a design quarterback draw. I think he just kind of saw
the opportunity there and took advantage of it, takes it out to the 28-yard line. 2nd and 3 now for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Brower has a man in motion. Takes the handoff,
comes Skinner.
He escapes one tackle, and still he's going to be tackled at the 30-yard line, though. That's going to be about a yard short of a first down to bring up 3rd and 1 now on that run by Jackson Brower.
Wow, Gavin Skinner had such a shot at it. You could see him coming in from his blind side. He was looking the other way, and Skinner was almost there, but had the presence of mind. And that's kind of the things you like. Coach Nelson was high on Brower as far as his kind of decision-making. He thought he did a good job of where he needed to go and either to take it or make the throw or throw it away or whatever it needs to be. He thought he did a really good job considering it's his first start and he's a sophomore quarterback.
3rd and 1 from the 30-yard line of the Rough Riders. There's the snap, hands it off to Nelson Wright. Wright tries to go right down the middle of the field, but he is going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Now 4th and short coming up for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Did Wright go right or did he go right down?
One of the two.
Which right is right?
Again, Nelson Wright coming in and spelling Tyree Nave, who is still on the sidelines. Like you said, he plays both sides of the ball.
And I don't think they're afraid to go for it, although this is not a situation where you think they're going to go for it. Surprised they didn't have a play lined up and ready to go. That would have been a perfect opportunity to execute such a thing. But I don't think they're afraid. I think they've got such a solid defense that they're like, yeah, we're going to go for it.
On 4th and 1.
They're going to try to get him to jump here.
There's the handoff to Wright. He's going to be stopped. I don't think he got enough depending on the spot.
I think it's really close.
Just right.
He leaned forward a little bit, and where they're spotting it, he definitely did not get it. He only got it on the 30.
Yep. About the 30-and-a-half-yard line, and so he needed to get to the 31, and what a huge stop there by this Raider defense.
Yeah,
they are so fired up right now.
They are just, the emotions got to be just driving them, and hopefully that will now spill over to the offense. It kind of looked like he got hit, but he was kind of leaning forward, but I think, the official must have said like a knee was down or something. Either way, they marked it short. Now the Raiders got the ball. They've got 2:22 to go, and they are up by 15.
Jed Jensen will go from the shotgun, has Uriah Glenn lined up behind him. And we're going to get a penalty. A little miscommunication there as the Raiders jump. So that will be a 5-yard penalty back to the 35-yard line of Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Now first and 15, rather.
Again, tell that was a run play. He was taking off downfield to go block a linebacker.
2:22 to go before halftime. We'll have our halftime show coming up right here on Fox Sports Rapid City and at foxsportsrapidcity.com. There's the snap to Jensen. Gets out of the pocket. He's at the 35. Spins out of a tackle at the 30. Still on his feet down to the 28-yard line.
How about that play? He had the pocket all around him, but like the last play with Brower, it parted right down the middle. He said, I'm going to go for it. Took off. How about shedding 2 tackles before he finally got brought down at the 33-yard line? Excuse me, 27.
Second and 7 now. A nice 8-yard gain that time on the run by Jed Jensen. There's the snap. They'll hand it off to Glenn. Glenn tries to break it to the outside. Was able to escape the hands of one tackler, but he ends up being tackled at the 31-yard line. That's going to be a loss of about 3, maybe 4 yards there.
And you see that, and it was a loss, what they were looking for. Didn't quite maybe get where they were looking for. But one of the things that it does is it keeps the defense honest, knowing that, hey, we're still going to try to hand it off. We're going to try to do some things to try to work the ball up the middle. So you can't just spread your guys out. They're in a cover 2 defense right now.
Spread offense as Jensen drops back, passes down the right down the middle of the field. We had one receiver who I think just fell, and it goes incomplete. That was Easton Ogle. He and Trocamoinen were both in the vicinity, but neither one could get to the football, and it was Easton Ogle who ended up just looked like he fell.
Yeah, and I think it was quarters coverage. I think they had 4 deep zone. They were anticipating that throw, and it's probably, unless he feeds it just in the right spot, I think that's probably, good enough that they did not get that.
So now we're looking at 4th and 11 coming up from the 31-yard line. They will go for it. We're down to 61 seconds remaining, and it looks like Coach Scott will take a timeout to set up his offense here on 4th down.
Yeah, he's obviously got to come up with, some sort of big 4th down play here. A couple of things he's thinking about, hey, don't get the pick 6, so you don't want to throw that where something's going to get undercut. If you're going to throw something up in the air, maybe ISO play or something, which I don't know that they have, per se, the jumping athletes. I haven't quite seen it yet anyway, that you run like an ISO, you chuck it up, and if it gets picked off in the end zone, hey, you just got yourself a 20-yard punt or 11-yard punt. But either way, that's one of the things that you can run into in that situation. But it's basically, get yourself set. Let's get an execution. Let's not turn this ball over. We don't want to give them any sort of field position. We want them to be able to have to drive the length of the field in order to get themselves a score to try to close out this half.
So Rapid City Stevens will come up to the line of scrimmage after that timeout, and now I think they're lining up for the field goal.
Is that Nelson? Who is the kicker?
The kicker is Parker Mesmer.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yep, the holder is Caden Nelson. 48-yard field goal attempt. This one is up, and short. It is short. Oh. It was there. I mean, right. As far as headed in the right direction, but just comes up a little bit short there.
So now you do kind of give them that shorter field. I guess it's just a missed 4th down conversion, but either way, it was worthy. It was a decent attempt. Just couldn't quite get enough out of it.
Yep, the leg strength or just the kick there was just not quite enough. So now Sioux Falls Roosevelt has 61 seconds to work with, and they will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
That's actually a benefit. It was an 11-yard punt. Yeah. Seriously, that's what happened. Because of the fact that where it landed, I am assuming that makes it the attempt. I'm assuming that makes it a
touchback.
The same thing as a punt.
Yeah, and brings it back to the 20-yard line.
The free kick.
Seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
56 seconds off the clock.
So they are running some time off the clock.
Yeah, because they didn't go, and it's the field goal attempt is not an untimed down. So
they took 5 seconds off. They'll run it down to 56. Here's Jackson Brower, has a man in motion. Nelson Wright lined up to his right. In trouble again, and sacked back inside the 15-yard line.
Power rush. Who was that, number 53 this time for the Raiders? Getting into the backfield, that's Spencer Garrett. Just a great job. He got the pressure initially, and then a couple of Raiders kind of cleaned it up after that. I think he was going to step up and start running for it, but Garrett was like right in front of him and just brought him down with, intensity.
So he is brought down or sacked back at the 16-yard line. We're looking at 2nd and 14. Brower again from the shotgun, looks to his left.
The ball's
he was hit. I thought maybe his arm got hit there as he threw the football, and then, of course, it was a wobbly pass that goes incomplete.
Yeah, it was either an arm or the ball. Something got tipped, you're right, as the ball, went down there. And again, now the Raiders brought a lot of pressure that time. They got to watch out for the screen pass on this one. They love bringing that pressure, and, you put that pressure on a new quarterback. Second varsity starting game for this sophomore. You put some pressure, make him make some decisions to where he's going to, throw it where he need not throw it.
We're down to the final 14 seconds of this first half. It's 15-0 on the State Farm scoreboard. Rapid City Stevens with that lead. In motion, they'll hand the ball off. Gets around the corner to the 20, the 25-yard line. That was number 18 on that carry.
Yeah, Kate. Nelson Wright again.
Jackson Grevengood.
Oh, 18, 41. I'm getting my numbers all mixed up.
Jackson Grevengood. And that's going to do it. That's going to be the way this first half ends. Of course, the crowd across, you can hear them. They're excited right now, the student section. At the end of the first half on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by Agent Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, it's Rapid City Stevens 15 and Sioux Falls Roosevelt nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our halftime show right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and foxsportsrapidcity.com, also on Go Raiders Live.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Everyone says they want to change the world. But not everyone will. We are not everyone.
Stevens, they came in facing traditionally, Sioux Falls Roosevelt, always a tough team, and again, we know that there's been a lot of shift in players out there in Sioux Falls with the addition of a new high school, but nonetheless, the Rapid City Stevens Raiders just came out. They lead here at halftime, 15-0, and just for 2 weeks in a row now, I've been so impressed with their defense and how they get after it. And then you're starting to see the offense, come alive as well with that long pass play. But things seem to be, they're starting to click for Rapid City Stevens.
Well, yeah, definitely. They've improved since last week. Their defense is still doing good. This is now 4 quarters now that they haven't given up a score, which you definitely couldn't say that last year. And like you said, some of their offensive woes are still there, but they've cleaned up a few of them. I think their execution is a little bit better today as far as offensively. Now, we talked about in the pregame, our keys to the game were mistakes. Who can clean up their mistakes and fix their stuff from last week? They're both still making mistakes, no doubt. But right now, the Raiders are definitely capitalizing more on the mistakes that Sioux Falls Roosevelt is making. Sioux Falls Roosevelt has had a couple of opportunities from Raider mistakes, but have not capitalized. So it really comes down to taking advantage of those mistakes, and Stevens has, and Sioux Falls Roosevelt has not.
Looking at the scoring in this first half, in the first quarter with 4:40 remaining, it was an 88-yard touchdown pass from Jed Jensen to Alex Trokamoinen, and then the 2-point conversion was good on the 2-point catch there by Caden Nelson, the 6'4" senior who caught it right in the middle of the field. That made it 8-0 at that point, and then when Sioux Falls Roosevelt, they were driving, they were getting in the red zone, or close to the red zone, and once again, getting the start was Aiden Unterbrunner, and he takes it 75 yards on the pick six, and the extra point was good by Parker Mesmer, and just like that, Rapid City Stevens leading 15-0. And like you said, that's 4 quarters now that Rapid City Stevens has not allowed any points. I mean, at halftime, if you're Coach Scott, what are you telling your team? I mean,
keep it up.
Keep it up. That's right.
Keep it up, and hey, let's make sure our heads are staying in the game. There was, obviously we had the false start one, we had the offsides one. That were, did some things. You had the pass interference one that we all agreed was, it was a penalty. We're not saying it's not a penalty. We're just saying you like the aggressiveness. You just got, you work on your timing. It's only the second game of the year. And some of these guys, didn't play varsity or very much varsity ball last year. So, here they are. So you can handle that. But aside from that, I think their offensive execution, I know they want to run the ball more, but like we said in the pregame, they've got skill players on the perimeter, guys that can make plays. They got a guy that can really make plays in Jed Jensen, and we've seen him do some of those things. We haven't even seen Scott yet even step out and make a play. I'm sure he's going to come alive in the second half, but either way, you're going to be conservative with Uriah Glenn to keep that inside honest and make sure the safeties stay in and the linebackers stay in. And then you work the perimeter out, and he's done a good job, and I think they'll do a better job of that in the second half.
Now, if you're Kim Nelson of Sioux Falls Roosevelt, again, you had some drives. At one point you thought you were going to score there as you were moving the ball into Raider territory, but twice this afternoon they've turned the ball over on downs as well. If you're Kim Nelson here at halftime, what do you tell your troops?
Well, he's telling them the same thing. Number one, he's like, guys, we got to clean this up. Obviously, unable to execute. They've got. I would argue, and obviously I don't know all the schools across the board, but I would argue they have the best offensive line in the state. I'll say AAA. They have the horses up front to do what they need to do, just drive this machine. But they can't get that running game going. They have a good play here and a good play there, and some things happened. Nelson Wright came out and did a couple of good plays. We're thinking, oh, here they go. They're going to start, running the ball all over the place and doing things. And then the Raiders come up with a couple of plays here, and then Kim Nelson goes into a passing game, and the Raiders' defense is just putting pressure on top of of Browers. He's tried to make play after play, and the Raiders just keep responding and responding. So he's going to have to change up kind of his play calling a little bit is what he's going to have to do. Probably get the ball out of the hands. I know he tried it a couple of times. Probably try to get the ball out of the hands of his quarterback a little bit quicker. Some quicker decisions, make the Raiders try to react and then try to neutralize that rush, that pressure that they're putting in his face and on the offensive line.
So again, here at halftime at Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium, on the State Farm scoreboard, it is Rapid City Stevens 15, Sioux Falls Roosevelt nothing. Right now, the Raider Marching Band performing at halftime. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and just take a look at some other games that are taking place this afternoon. Some will be played later today, but we'll get you caught up on those matchups as well. We'll do that when we return in 2 minutes to the halftime show right here at O'Hara Stadium, right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, foxsportsrapidcity.com, and GoRaidersLive.com.
My kid wrecked his car, his third car. The kid needs a car. We need the kid to have a car.
Where can you get good neighbors service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Matt McCormick, I'm ready to help. Call 348-0464 for surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
Warren Chemical is ready for winter. Are you? They stock quality ice melt products for sidewalks, driveways, and parking areas that will melt ice down to minus 15 degrees. Warren Chemical Ice Melt is less toxic than baking soda, is the least damaging to concrete, surrounding grass, and other plants, and can be applied before or after the snow falls. Available in 50-pound bags and less expensive than the discount store 20-pound buckets. Call 342-7644. Warren Chemical, a proud sponsor of all Rapid City and surrounding area schools.
You've known us as Corey's Tri-State Tire Factory, but now we have a new name and a new location to serve you better. Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service is now open on Camden Drive up the hill from Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City, and remains open in Belle Fourche on 5th Avenue. Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service is the largest independent tire and auto service shop in the region, and we're still locally owned. With that will come more convenient service, better parking, and exclusive deals on top tire brands in the business. We look forward to serving you even better at the all-new Corey's Point S Tire and Auto Service in Rapid City and in Belle Fourche.
Then also this evening, you have Harrisburg and Sioux Falls O'Gorman playing at the Tiger Bowl. Sioux Falls Lincoln and Watertown playing at Howard Woodfield. And then in the Pigskin Classic at Brandon Valley, it is the Lynx hosting Sioux Falls Jefferson. So some good matchups there in Class 11 AAA.
Pigskin Classic. I love that. Classic name right there. Yeah, definitely, some Saturday afternoon ball going on here, and, teams trying to jockey around. I know I talked to Coach Nelson, and he was talking about Brandon Valley, like you said, defending state champion and only able to score, 14 points. And he said, they'll be there. They're ready. They've got the players. They weren't, if this matters, they weren't affected by, obviously, the new school in Sioux Falls. And it's the suburbs of Sioux Falls that are really, taken off between, we said this last night, T area and Harrisburg and Brandon Valley, yep. Madison, all these areas just outside of Sioux Falls that, really are taken off, just have, dominant powers. But I'll tell you what, the Raiders right now are showing that, hey, we don't care if you got an SF in front of your name. We are ready, coming out and ready to play, to show that, last year we lost players. That was a fluke. We are here and we're ready to go, and I'm excited what I see today.
And again, we still have a half of football to play here. So of course, like you said, if you're Coach Scott, you want to say keep the keep your foot on the pedal here and finish the game strong. But then next week, Rapid City Stevens, not to look ahead, but again, they will play Sioux Falls Jefferson. So the new school, which is the first time there's been a new public school in Sioux Falls since Sioux Falls Roosevelt came in 1991.
Right, yeah.
And Dean, you giving me that stat yesterday. I got to give you credit for that stat.
Yeah, right. I didn't know it. I read it, okay, just so you know that. I wasn't around in 91. No, I was kidding. I was here. I just don't remember it.
So, yeah, that'll be another big matchup, though.
Right.
Sioux Falls Jefferson, they're 1-0 on the year after they won the first week. And then, again, playing Brandon Valley. So it'll be interesting to see that game, how that turns out tonight.
Yeah, definitely. To see Talon Ashley. We saw him last year come in and play, because we did this game. And watch him. He's just an exciting, I would say arguably, the best maybe quarterback in the state. Everyone says Jacob Knuth is an outstanding player, and he is. I'm not taking anything away from him from Harrisburg, but Talon Ashley is just super duper talented. Athletic as all get up, so it's a little harder to contain those types of players, and so that's going to be the next level challenge for this Raider defense. Obviously, we don't want to get the cart in front of the horse. We still got a whole half to go yet, but next week, I'm looking forward to talking to Coach Scott, saying, what are you going to do to catch this guy? Because you can't just keep your defenders in lanes and think that he's just going to, stay in there. You're going to have to put a spy on him or something, or somehow they're going to rush with their heads up somehow, some way, because he can escape the pocket. I don't think Brower's nearly as athletic as Ashley is, and so they're kind of able to track him down with that pressure. But it's going to be a different ball game, different schematic-wise for the Raiders next week.
Oh, absolutely. So again, our halftime show, though, will come to a close here at O'Hara Stadium as we get you set for second half. They did put the 3 minutes to allow the teams to warm up. So we will actually take our final break here. We'll come back with the start of the second half when we return in 2 minutes. Again, the score here at halftime, it's Rapid City Stevens 15, Sioux Falls Roosevelt nothing. Again, we're back in 2 minutes as you're listening to high school football on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and on GoRaidersLive.com.
At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
Hi, this is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City Sports Talk Show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show. With big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com.
here's the kickoff to start this third quarter as we welcome you back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Nice return there by Sioux Falls Roosevelt. They'll have decent field position to start this third quarter as they'll be just shy of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was Tyree Nave. We called his name early on, and we really haven't done anything about using that. And so to see him get, and I'm quite surprised they did kick it to him. But again, he picks it up on about the 20-yard line and cuts through a few people, gets a few yards. So decent field position for Sioux Falls, and we'll see what they've cleaned up. What have they corrected? They put Nave back in the backfield. We'll see if they can use him.
Again, here's Jackson Brower, fakes the handoff. Under pressure, gets rid of the football. He had to get rid of it quickly, and it is incomplete to number 9, Matthew Gearing.
Yeah, and Tate Crossweight was the linebacker coming in on that side and caused the errant throw. Again, you put pressure on a sophomore quarterback in his second varsity start, and it's a little tougher to make some of those throws.
Absolutely, and that linebacking core just playing outstanding this afternoon for Rapid City Stevens. We're looking at 2nd and 10 now from the Rough Rider 37-yard line. There's a screen pass to the right side. It's going to be caught up to the 40, the 45, and pushed out of bounds at midfield was number 18, Jackson Grevengood. But a penalty marker there on that far sideline.
Yeah, right at that point we might get
Is this one coming back?
Yeah, illegal block or a hold.
We'll see if we can tune in to
Royce Wurtzer.
And
he's talking to number 11 there. That's DeAndre Joseph. And there's a hold against them. So the mistakes continue for Sioux Falls Roosevelt as they're trying to climb back in this. They're not out of it, but, trailing by a couple of scores and a daunting defense by the Raiders that are putting up a very stout wall right now, and they got to be able to execute.
And so that will take the ball back. Instead of midfield, now the ball will be placed back at the Rough Rider 27-yard line as they go from right to left. They will come up to the line of scrimmage. They'll have 2 receivers to each side. Here's Jackson Brower from the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks down the middle of the field, and it's going to be intercepted again by Rapid City Stevens. Rapid City Stevens with another interception. We'll see who the player was,
That was
37.
Was it 37 or 31?
I think Luke Jagaris.
Okay, I think you're probably right. Just dropping back in the zone. You saw no pressure that time. The Raiders love pressure, bring in their linebackers, and they elected, 3rd and long. We don't want to get them to run a screen pass on us, so we're going to drop back in the zone. There was plenty of time as Brower was kind of scanning the defense, thought he could kind of get the throw over the dropping linebacker, but Jagaris did a great job, dropped back, got his hands on the ball, and gets another turnover and another opportunity for the Raiders today.
That's 2 turnovers on Sioux Falls Roosevelt this afternoon. Both interceptions, the first by Aiden Unterbrunner, the second by Luke Jagaris. So the Raiders in good position now. And we're going to get a penalty flag right away. This is not what you want to see, but Randy Stanton on this near sideline.
Yeah, the guard, it looked like the guard for one of the guards for the Raiders was leaning back, started to lean back forward. Once you saw the Rough Riders kind of show blitz, bringing their outside linebackers up. And I don't think that caused it because you're a couple players away, but either way.
But a false start nonetheless, so that will move it back 5 yards. We're now looking at 1st and 15 from the Sioux Falls 38-yard line. Jed Jensen will go from the shotgun. They're going to go trips left, 1 receiver to the right. Has Glenn lined up to his left, fakes the throw, and now he's just going to slide. I'm not sure if he didn't like what he saw, but he just slides.
Yeah, he did not at all. He saw that, and you can see him kind of looking over saying, hey, look, whatever the play was, it was probably a wide receiver screen, and he went to look, and maybe both guys were blocking. Either way, when he kind of looked that direction, pumped, and was like, oh, this ain't it, and then instead of taking off, he just slid because he had that defensive end right in his face. Big number, 74 for Sioux Falls Roosevelt, or rather, he's the nose guard, Lane Ferguson. He's just a beast up front.
So that's a loss of 5 yards. The Raiders are now looking at 2nd and 20 from the Sioux Falls 43. Dropping back from the shotgun again. There's Jensen. Looks like his arm was hit as he got rid of the football. It's underthrown, intended for Alex Trokamoinen. And now incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and long for Rapid City Stevens.
Yeah, there was a little bit of time for him. You saw Uriah Glenn was in the right spot to make the block, to step up and block that, the guy coming up the middle, and then he changed his mind and tried to get the guy on the outside. And that's a cardinal rule. If you're the running back and lineman in particular, you're blocking from the inside out. You want to make sure the outside guys can shove their guys out, but the front guys, they can't allow somebody to come in your face. And so if you got to help, you got to help inside out first.
They'll go spread offense. Glenn lined up left to Jensen. Jensen from the gun. Takes the snap, drops back again. Gets rid of the football, has a wide open receiver, Easton Ogle. He's at the 25, the 20-yard line, still on his feet, and he stumbles down inside the 15-yard line.
He was wide open, 3rd down and long for the Raiders, and the Rough Riders dropped way back, and the underneath coverage just was not there. There wasn't a guy 15, 20 yards near him. He wide open and just had an opportunity. And, of course, you give him the ball and get with his speed and athleticism, he makes a move and gets up the field.
They needed 20. They get 30 all the way down to the 13-yard line. On the handoff there, they had a player go in motion. That was number 7. That was Julian Scott calling his name for the first time today, but a couple of penalty markers that come in there late.
Again, probably in the area of some sort of illegal hold.
Scott went in motion that time. We're going to have, did you catch from?
It was a hold. And they're going to back him up a little bit.
The ball is placed now at the 19-yard line. I'm sorry, the 24-yard line. 1st and 21 is what Rapid City Stevens, again, what a score, or, any type of points right now would, definitely add to the lead, but boy, would that just be
confidence boost.
Yep, absolutely. Jensen fakes to his left, now rolls back to his right, and he could not escape the tackler.
Yeah.
He is going to be sacked back at the 33-yard line.
So that's something that Coach Scott will have to work on with him. Okay, they had the opportunity on the left side. It wasn't there. He rolled out. He had an opportunity on the right side. Guys closing in on him. He needs to get rid of the ball. There was a wall right in front of him, and he either forced something at a place where the defense can't get it, which is a little scary, or you just got to get rid of it, throw it in the neighborhood of somebody, and replay another down.
So now we're looking at 2nd and 29 coming up for Rapid City Stevens. 9:12 to go. They lead 15-0 on the State Farm scoreboard. Jensen took the snap, but they are going to blow it dead immediately. Another false start against Rapid City Stevens. That's going to back them up another 5 yards.
Yeah, those little disciplined ones are hard to swallow as a coach. Especially you've got 15-0 lead. You got an opportunity to make something here, and now you're going backwards, and your defense came up with a huge play. And
so 2nd down. The ball is going to be placed just shy. It's going to be just shy of the 38-yard line. We'll call it the 37. 2nd and 34 coming up for Rapid City Stevens. Here's Jensen from the gun. He's going to drop back, rolls out of the pocket, throws it for the end zone, has a receiver. Wide open was Alex Trokamoinen, his 2nd touchdown of the day.
And you saw both of the defensive backs that were back there. You didn't stay with it and stay back behind. You're running a zone coverage. You got to stay deep as you're the 2 deep receivers. They were looking at Jensen starting to roll out, and I don't know if they kind of thought he was going to start to run because it kind of looked like it. And instead, you're taught as a defender in a zone coverage, keep your eye on the quarterback. So they do that, but I think their kind of instinct was start to come forward when it really should have been stay back to make sure you've got that deep coverage. He just slipped right behind him and is wide open, and a great throw by Jensen. And the Raiders are in business again.
There's the extra point attempt. That is good with 8:47 left here in this 3rd quarter. It's Rapid City Stevens 22, Sioux Falls Roosevelt nothing. And, Dean, I think it's safe to say that Jed Jensen has found his favorite receiver, at least in this ball game.
Well, he's doing a great job of finding the open guy is what he's doing. guys moving in the right spots. He created an opportunity there. Just his athleticism to step out of the sack. The defender looked like he had him kind of right at his feet, but he didn't. He was able to step out, and then you thought, oh, there's a lot of space in front of him. The zone coverage, there was a defender right in front of him who was going to come down and make the stop, but he's like, oh, wait a minute, I got a guy open here, and just chucked it downfield and made a nice throw and a nice hit. And instantly, the defender's hands came up. It's like, what are we doing? We're letting him behind us. I thought that's your guy. You get finger pointing, every time something like that happens.
And Alex Trokamoinen, he has 2 catches now for 2 touchdowns and 125 yards on those 2 touchdown catches.
Nice.
Those are some good stats right there.
Right, yeah. It's just a couple of plays. I know Coach Nelson said, hey, we gave up 2 big plays. We talked about that at pregame. 2 big plays, and all the teams throughout last week, it was just 1 or 2 plays one way or another. And right now, the Raiders have got more than that, but they have 2 touchdowns by Trokamoinen.
22-0 is your score. Rapid City Stevens leading Sioux Falls Roosevelt on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Here's your kickoff by Parker Mesmer for Rapid City Stevens, going from left to right from the 40-yard line. A short kick there. It's going to bounce at the 15-yard line, but they blow that dead. We got the penalty flag or penalty marker back at the 40.
It's funny, the kicker, Parker Mesmer, he kind of trots kind of like a deer prancing through a high grass field as he's getting his feet set, and that's just his form that he uses, but that's kind of what it looks like. And so, sometimes you see guys, they'll run up with ferocity and think they're just going to boot that thing through the uprights or something on a kickoff like that, but he just trots and trots, and I thought it was a gorgeous kick. It was right in front of the returner, so they would have had to come up, pick the ball up off the turf, and start to run. And that just allows an extra time for your sprinters and your gunners to get down the field and your shooters to try to get down and make a play there. But unfortunately, I don't think anyone else liked his trot, at least on the kickoff team.
So they reset the football. It's placed now at the Raider 35-yard line, and Mesmer will kick off once again. Mesmer looking both ways. And there's the kick. This one, a lower kick, takes a bounce at the 25-yard line. It's going to be picked up by Tyree Nave, and Nave tries to find an open hole or some green in front of him. Instead, he's going to be stopped for no gain there.
I think that's just great kicking, great placement. You don't stick it in the hands where you get an easy return by a very talented Nave player, and he has to come up. By the time he picks that off the carpet and it's in a corner, they use the sideline as like a 12th defender. They corral him right into that corner, and I thought maybe he was going to kind of run around, but they did a great job of coming from the backside and not giving up that lane on the backside.
So Sioux Falls Roosevelt with the football now, trailing 22-0. Jackson Brower will take the ball from the shotgun. He drops back. Gets out of the pocket, has a little curl route there. It's caught by number 9.
It's Matt Gehring coming into. He's just a tough defensive player, getting some time on defense. Again, they have players going both ways to Sioux Falls Roosevelt, but Raiders right there to wrap him up for a decent gain, but not giving up that big play.
So that was a 7-yard gain. We're looking at 2nd and 7 now for the Rough Riders. On their own 34-yard line, again from the gun. Passing into traffic there. It was tipped up and then almost caught by number 14, John Parker, but he can't come down with it.
Yeah, the Raiders closed in on that, tipped the ball up in the air. You practice all the time, tip drill, especially on defense, but the offense was the recipient of that and nearly got to the reception off of that.
So instead, now the ball will be incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 3 coming up, again, from the 34-yard line.
I know Coach Nelson right now has got to be frustrated. Their ineffectiveness of running the ball. They're down 3 scores against a tough defense, so I think he feels like he has to throw. That's his thing, but
they hand the ball off to I think that was Tyree Nave who came back in the ball game, and he's able to take it to the 39-yard line. That's a gain of 5, and that'll be a Sioux Falls Roosevelt first down.
Yeah, and he's got to be pleased with that one. Okay, we got the ball into my ever-talented running back, up the middle, using my big beef in front of me, move the line a little bit. It's a good third down execution by Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Clock is running, 7.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. On a 75-degree Saturday afternoon. Brower from the shotgun again. Looks to his left. Gets rid of the football. Tyree Nave makes the catch. It's going to be just a lob over the middle there, and he gets out to the 44-yard line.
I'm surprised. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the first catches by Nave out of the backfield. I'm surprised he isn't using that maybe a little bit more often. Some wide receiver screens. I know they did the backside one where they rolled one way and threw a backside and tried to execute a fourth down play earlier in the second quarter, I believe is when it was, when they're trying to score there. They're only scoring real opportunity for him. But still, you get him in some open field, he can break some tackles and burst some speed.
Absolutely. Now a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5. Brower rolls out to his right under pressure. Able to get rid of one tackler, and he throws the ball in traffic. It is incomplete. Intended for, not sure if it was Nave on that far side.
The PA announcer thought it was Nave. It was kind of hard to tell there.
Mm-hmm. I think it could have been Taden Nave. Number 22 is who the intended receiver was.
Yeah, I was like, I don't see Tyree out there, but.
So now 3rd and 5 after that incomplete pass. They'll go from the shotgun, trips left, dropping back again. Has lots of time to throw, now getting some pressure. He's going to roll out to his right, still on his feet as he sheds a tackler, out to midfield, out to the 45, and the 40-yard line, but he loses the football. It's a fumble, and the Raiders come away with it. The 3rd turnover in this ball game for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Oh, that is so unfortunate for Sioux Falls because they had some tremendous plays right there. There's a flag back here, so we're going to see what happens here. If it's against Sioux Falls Roosevelt, they'll have to decline it so they can get the fumble out of it, but number 73 for Sioux Falls Roosevelt as Brower was running backwards. 73, Connor Holland absolutely leveled the linebacker for Stevens, creating that open opportunity. And I don't know if that's going to be part of the penalty, but it was a great, great block. But that happened last week. Early on in the game against Sioux Falls Roosevelt, Brower was trying to make a run, and he coughed up the football. They were able to get the ball back, but it kind of brought some kind of maybe early on jitters, but second game here now, we're deep into the second game. He should be able to hang on to that ball, but good job stripping it were the Raiders and coming up, and I think they're going to give him the ball.
Yep, they declined the penalty, so after the 3rd turnover in this ball game, Rapid City Stevens will have the football, and wow, just the way they're playing in this ball game, they came fired up today, and they have not stopped.
Yes, they're able to overcome their mistakes, and we talked about this at halftime. Right now, Sioux Falls Roosevelt cannot overcome theirs.
6:20 to go in this 3rd quarter. There's the snap to Jensen. Jensen hands it off to Glenn. Glenn breaks it out to the outside, gets around the tackle. He's going to be forced out of bounds there as he gets close to midfield. They spot the ball actually at about the 46-yard line. That's a pickup of 7 to bring up 2nd and 3.
Again, they're going to constantly keep him honest, running the ball up the gut. The defense is still holding fairly strong for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. There have been just obviously a few big plays that the Raiders have been able to make. So that's going to be kind of one on the Riders right now, thinking, hey, we got to stay tough and we got to keep those big plays from happening.
This time they hand it to Glenn, and Glenn comes to the near side. He's able to escape one tackler, still on his feet, and he has enough for a first down. The extra or second effort there by Glenn, and he's able to get the first down for the Raiders.
Yeah, just a tremendous job. You thought, oh man, he's done. It was right about the 45-yard line. You're thinking he is gone, but instead he kept his feet churning, keeps his balance, good balance by a good athletic running back, and unable to make the tackle and move up the field and get the first down.
5-yard gain there into Rough Rider territory to the 49-yard line. So the Raiders not only lead 22-0, of course they want to chew up some clock, get into this fourth quarter, but they want to, like I said, keep the pressure on here as they hand it off to Glenn once again, right up the middle, has an opening, and he's going to take it to about the 42-yard line, maybe 43-yard line, depending on the spot.
I think it's the 42, but either way, another run up the gut. That was, I think the Riders would pride themselves on their ability to stop that inside zone running game, but right now the Raiders, which we didn't hardly see any of that in the first game, not much early on in this game, but now stringing 3 plays together now, it's a good positive yardage.
2nd and 4 coming up. Glenn once again cuts back to his left, still on his feet, gets inside the 35-yard line, down to the 34, a gain of 9 yards, and another Raider first down.
How about the offensive line for the Raiders coming alive against a very stout defensive line for this Rough Rider. Lane Ferguson, Cam Jones, those guys are just beasts out there, and right now the Raiders are just having their way with them.
Ben Goldie, Hayden Bentz, Thomas Mardian, Tanner Oaten, and Colton Lowen.
And it's funny,
that Raider offensive line.
And Hayden Bentz, he's the nicest kid you have ever met. I umpire with him. He is so stinking nice. You're like, he's out there being an animal right now?
From the shotgun, they'll hand it as they stick to that running game. And that's going to be Uriah Glenn once again. He is going to fall forward to about the 31-yard line for a gain of 3 yards, a short gain. That'll bring up 2nd down for Rapid City Stevens.
Yeah, I umpired a couple, 3 games with him. He just does a fantastic job. He's a newer umpire, but he just does a great job. But he's just so nice. It's hard to imagine when I saw him on that lineup. I'm like, he's the beast man out there, so I'm going to have to give him a hard time about that. But yeah, they're right now, that's something that I think the Raiders have been missing for a long time, this exertion of a line that can exert against a stout defensive front and just move the pile.
They'll spread it out now to receivers to each side from the shotgun. They're going to Trocamoinen on single coverage, and it's going to be batted down by Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Yeah, that's a good job. Held it up really well and just tried to get Trocamoinen to get down there, but Asumaran Mohammed did a great job of staying with it, and at the last minute gets the good coverage and the defense.
So after that incomplete pass, we're looking at 3rd and 7 now with 3.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Raiders up to that line of scrimmage. They go spread offense once again. Jed Jensen from the shotgun has Glenn lined up to behind him. He fakes the handoff. In some trouble. And Jed Jensen is going to be wrapped up at about the 38-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 7 yards.
Yeah, that was kind of a tougher one. They went for that field goal last time, and I don't know that they're going to go for that. I'd be surprised. Going for it here wouldn't be horrible. It's a 4th and long. You're thinking, Dean, what in the world are you even thinking? But he's going to do the wise thing. He's going to try to pin him back deep into a corner.
Jordan Kinzer is back deep to receive the punt. There's the snap. He gets it away. It's going to take a bounce. It'll take a bounce inside the 10-yard line, actually down right at the 10-yard line. I was thinking it was going to roll a little bit further, but no, it's going to stop right at the 10. But nonetheless, they pin Sioux Falls Roosevelt back deep, but then you see at midfield another yellow flag.
Man, it pains me as a special teams coach to see how long that snap and the setup and the kick takes for him. He could, if they can get that with some integrity on that, he can pin him right in the corner, and that'd be just a perfect. I mean, they got it to the 10, so you can't complain. That's one of the measures of a good punter, how many inside the 10s or inside the 5s that you can pin a team. But either way, did they run into the kicker? Because I swear there was a tip. I mean, they were right there. How could it not be? And are they picking up the flag?
They pick up the flag. They place the ball back at the...
they're going to punt again, though?
Yep, at the 38-yard line, so they're going to punt again. There's the punt. End over end. Takes a bounce at the 10-yard line once again. And the Raiders will down it at the 8-yard line, so they get even a little bit better, right? Or a chance to pin them a little deeper.
Yeah, a good bonus of a yard.
2 yards or
One
so.
or 2 yards, yep. So I think they moved the ball up 5 yards. It must have been against Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, so they moved it up 5 yards because it was like 4th and 18, and then it was like 4th and 13, I think. So something like that. But either way, now Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, they really, there's got to be a sense of urgency. They got, just over a quarter to go. They got to start putting something together. They have not been able to make plays happen. And now the pressure is going to be on. Your sophomore quarterback, they did a few things right, got down, made a couple of plays of what they needed to come within a 2-point conversion of tying the ball game against O'Gorman. Now they're in a much bigger hole.
From the 8-yard line, Jackson Brower fakes to his left. Now he rolls out to the near side, gets rid of it, and has a receiver down to the 40, the 50, down the left sideline. Still on his feet to the 30, the 20, the 10, and it's going to be a touchdown for number 18. That is going to be Jackson Grevengood. Takes it 91 yards for pay dirt.
It is so hard sometimes when you are a defensive back. Everybody starts flowing one direction, and you start sliding that direction, and then they sneak somebody out and just out into the deep flat out there and a deep out, and then they make that throw, and you're busy looking in the backfield and not keeping an eye on the guy that lands right into your zone because your zone is shifting, and he sneaks in behind you. I know that happened to Sioux Falls Roosevelt in one of the Trocamotan touchdowns. That second one that he had, and now it's payback time for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Here comes the extra point attempt for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and this one is good. So 2:21 to go here in this third quarter, and on the State Farm scoreboard, it's Rapid City Stevens 22, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 7. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout as you're listening to high school football on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Hey, renters in the Black Hills. I'm State Farm Agent Scott Carlson, and I'm ready to surprise you in a good way with surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance. That's right. Me and my team can help you protect your car and your stuff for less than you might think. Get a quote and see how much you can save. You might be surprised. Call me, State Farm Agent Scott Carlson, for your surprisingly great auto and renter's rate today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Side-by-Sides. With Dean Gurr, I'm Jerome Wickersham. And right now, Rapid City Stevens still leading 22-7. But, Dean, their streak of comes to an end. They went almost 5 quarters without allowing any points. But then we see that 91-yard touchdown pass by Sioux Falls Roosevelt. And so now the Raiders have to start a new streak.
Yeah, it was a good answer by Sioux Falls Roosevelt for them to, come back. They've been struggling here for this entire game with a play here, a play there, and then they finally get a big one together, so it kind of gives them a little bit of lift.
There's the squib kick. The ball is loose. It was touched by the Raiders, but they will jump on the football. There's a pile there. I believe the Raiders have it.
There were 3 Raiders on that pile before any Rough Rider got there. So if they don't get this, there's some issues here.
But there's usually, you get about 6-8 players jumping on it regardless.
Yep. Y'all looking for this opportunity to get on the pile.
Yeah.
I know they tell you tell, especially your special teams guys, everybody get to the ball. Everybody get to the ball.
And the Raiders do come away with it. They will have the football 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line, going from left to right as the ball is placed on the left hash marks. Rapid City Stevens now with a chance to answer as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Jed Jensen from the shotgun. Gives the handoff to Uriah Glenn. Has an opening. He's going to he's still on his feet as he breaks a couple of tackles.
Are you kidding
Dives
me?
forward. I thought he was wrapped up 10 yards ago. Instead, he gets all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Talk about an intense run right there. Uriah Glenn said, you know what, enough of this. You guys got your touchdown, but we're going to come right back. And he ran hard, and there were people dragging on him. It was like he had the whole team on him and just kept churning and churning and churning. That's a good textbook run right there. Legs never stopped.
You know, he takes it 14 yards on that carry. Last week, he was held to a total of 17 yards, but definitely a much different running attack in this ball game. They'll put a man in motion now, rolling out to the right. There's the shovel pass. This one will go to Glenn once again, and Glenn's going to be wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 yard, depending on the spot.
Yeah, kind of a slow developing play. We saw that with the Rough Riders earlier. It was kind of a play that he had to decide whether to keep it or pitch it, and sometimes if it takes too long to develop, then it's too easy for the defense to for the backside pursuit to get there. So I think that's kind of what it looked like. You got to get on the run. You got to make that decision quick in order to get the ball out there. And there were 3 Rough Riders just ready to pounce on him once he got it.
That's a gain of 1 to the 49-yard line of Rapid City Stevens. So 2nd and 9. Jed Jensen from the shotgun once again. He drops back, throws it down the middle of the field.
And they're not going to call it. That was about as perfect as you get as far as timing goes. I think the ball was a little bit high, but the defender, they all kind of collided, all kind of right at the same time. So good no call by the official, but I thought Jensen might have had. I think he assumed that he was going to go a little bit deeper than he was, because you saw him kind of air it out a little bit. If you'd have just kind of underthrew it a little bit better, that would have been a great step catch post route.
And the intended target was the 6'4" Caden Nelson. They'll go from spread offense once again. Jensen under pressure. And he holds on to the football as he is sacked back at the 39-yard line. And you kind of see this momentum shifting a little bit now as the defense for the Rough Riders comes alive.
Yeah, and this is kind of what you expected from the Rough Riders. Good, solid defense, and they played fairly well today. They just given up a few big plays here or there. Still played fairly well, and you expect that. Now it's going to kind of see if it carries over to their offense. It did last time in that one big play that they had. See if they can that intensity level stays here.
The clock is running. 10 seconds now. We'll see if the.
I'm honestly, I'm a little bit fearful here of this punt coming up.
Here's the punt. They'll get it off right before the end of the third quarter. Kinsler will let it bounce at the 30-yard line. It continues to roll down to the 25 and out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
I think that was right at the 23, but yeah, they didn't bring any pressure that time, so he had plenty of time to get that kick away.
On the State Farm scoreboard at the end of 3 quarters of play, it's Rapid City Stevens 22, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 7. We're back in 1 minute right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, foxsportsrapidcity.com, and GoRaidersLive.com.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
At Denny Menholt Auto Group, we buy cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of dealing with messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Auto Group off East Mall Drive, Rapid City.
When you're the bank, that comes with a lot of
And we're back here at Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium in Rapid City at the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr with you. 1 quarter of play left here at O'Hara Stadium. The Raiders holding on to that 22-7 lead, but the Rough Riders have the football to start quarter number 4. There's the pass down the right sideline, and wide open on some broken coverage was number 14, John Parker, but it's overthrown to the intended receiver.
Right, I saw that. I saw him on the one-on-one. It looked like they're going to do bump and run coverage, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. It looked like there was movement on the far side, but either way, the snap gets off. I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy's wide open, and he just flat out overthrows him. He could have walked it. He could have wheelbarrowed.
Yes, he had no one in front of him. He could have probably easily scored the touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know what the miscommunication was on the receiver or the defensive back on that side. That's Aiden Underbrenner, the guy who had the pick 6 earlier.
So 3rd and 6 from the Rough Rider 27-yard line. They get the pass. It's complete to the 30. No, it's incomplete. I thought he brought it down, but are they saying that he had the football?
He didn't complete the catch to the ground. I don't know exactly what the high school official rule is, but either way, there were 2 Raiders right there. Looked like Tanner Lunders was one of them, and I don't remember who the other one was. 20? Was it 22? Looks like maybe.
So Tayden.
Yeah, Zachary Brunch could have been there. Either way, 2 of them right there. Yeah, it was a good pass if he can just haul that in, but good defense. And now the Rough Riders seem like had some momentum all going in that direction. Now they're forced to punt.
Special teams unit comes on for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. They will punt from inside their own 15-yard line. Going from left to right, there's the snap, there's the punt. The ball will bounce at about the 47-yard line, and it will be down by Sioux Falls Roosevelt as number 4, Corder Doney, was back deep, and he just got away from the football.
Yeah, not anywhere near, and this is another chance now for the Raiders to kind of set up. They really kind of stalled a little bit last time and kind of get things together. I know they're going to get a lot of heat this time from the Roosevelt Rough Riders. We'll see if Coach Scott can kind of take advantage of that because, now they're itching. Okay, we got 11:34 to go here. We are down 2 scores. We need to get a big stop here, get a big turnover, something big. So, they're going to be itching to do something a little bit extra aggressive and see if it pays off.
Rapid City Stevens, 1st and 10 from their own 45. Scott goes in motion. They fake the screen pass to Scott, now under pressure. Jensen just gets rid of the football. Yeah, but I don't see a flag. Are they saying that he tried to get it to the receiver?
Well, yeah, there has to, A, be a receiver in the neighborhood, and B, it has to get across the line of scrimmage. And they're going to say it did. That was...
I thought, and I think the coach on the sideline wanted, for Sioux Falls Roosevelt, was looking for intentional grounding.
Could have been. And, Scott was actually the flare. You saw him. He kind of looked at him first. I think they were trying to get a decoy that they would throw it that way, and then everybody would suck down, and then he would throw something downfield, getting the over-aggressiveness. But whatever, it didn't happen. And so then I think he threw it that way, and they're thinking, oh, he threw it underhand. That's not enough power for an incomplete pass.
So 2nd and 10, they hand the ball off to Glenn, and he tries to find the hole right up the gut there, but he's going to be stopped. Did he get maybe a yard? We'll see where they spot the football.
30. Oh, they're going to give him the 31. I didn't think he got that far.
The 46.
Or that's what I meant. 30s, 40s, all the numbers are all scrambled.
So a gain of 1.
Oh, I looked at the 3rd down. That was it.
Nope, 3rd and 9 now with 1 minute gone by here in this 4th quarter. And if you're the Raiders, of course, you lead 22-7, but you're trying to, get a long drive put together here.
I'm surprised they're out of the huddle so quick. To be honest, every second counts. So why are they out at the line right away?
Spread offense from the gun. Jensen drops back, passes down the middle of the field, and the ball is tipped by number 9, Matthew Gearing.
Yeah, a good job. He's just the middle linebacker, drops right in that zone coverage, and I think that we're going to have a flag on the field, but I think they thought that Jensen could probably get the ball where he needed to. He had to underthrow it because the defender was on the back side of him. So on his way to try to thread that needle in the right spot, he didn't quite get where it needed to be, and thankfully it wasn't picked off.
And it was holding against Rapid City Stevens. Sioux Falls Roosevelt is declining the penalty, and that will result in a 4th down for Rapid City Stevens.
So now you see the defense, flexing their muscles a little bit for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. If they can this is kind of like the Raiders were last week. The defense would flex and do something great, but the offense just unable to connect and make something happen.
Parker Mesmer is back to punt. There's the snap. Has some protection. Gets
nice
the punt. It's a nice one. Backing up is Kinsler, and that one will just roll into the end zone. So a touchback there. They'll bring that out to the 20, but that was a nice punt. It was, and Kinsler did a nice job of reading it. You kind of thought he was going to field it, but he's like, oh, that's over my head. You put your toes on your heels rather on the 10-yard line, and anything over my head, I don't back up and get it. I let it go, and he did. Yep. And yeah, the way it bounced, he got the forward roll, and I mean that thing rolled all the way into St. Joseph Street. I swear. Yeah. So Jordan Kinsler lets it go. It will be Rough Rider football, though. They had the big pass play. That was the 91-yard reception by Jackson Grevengood. Now we'll see what the Rough Riders do. They go trips left, one receiver to the right. They put a man in motion. Brower takes the handoff, passes right down the middle of the field, but he overthrows John Parker.
Now he did a
double coverage.
Yeah, he did a good job that time of stepping away from the rush. The rush was right in his face. He stepped right away from it and had an opportunity to set his feet and make a good throw, but he just overthrew his receiver. It needed to be decent, just a little too much oomph out of it.
10.5 minutes to go here in this 4th quarter. Last year, Rapid City Stevens did not win a game. They went 0-7 and missed the playoffs. This year, a chance to pick up their first win. Trying to hold on here in this 4th quarter. Dropping back again is Brower. Under pressure, and he is going to be sacked at the 11-yard line.
The pressure coming in right up the middle. Of course, it came around from the backside and then up into the middle. Jevin McNabb, number 44, does a great job getting around his guy and cleans it up and does not allow Brower to kind of step up into the pocket and make that throw that he needed to. And the pressure by the Raiders continues to cause havoc by the Sioux Falls Roosevelt backfield.
McNabb was fired up, the 6', 235-pound senior out of that nose guard position. That's a loss of 6. We're looking at 3rd and 16 now. On the 14-yard line, rolling out is going to be Brower. Brower steps out of bounds there at the 16-yard line.
Luke Cholis doing a good job reading him a little and then, not letting him to kind of get out of the box and get downfield. Playing maybe a little bit more conservative, I would say, in that type of situation. You want to make sure they don't, get a screen on you and run for daylights. But either way, the Raiders defense ready and stepping up to the call.
Corderdoni will be back deep at midfield for Rapid City Stevens, as Sioux Falls Roosevelt will punt inside their own 41-yard line.
They don't have enough guys out there. They had to get a guy out there, and we might have to call a timeout.
Yep, Nelson Wright comes on there, or comes out late.
Still waiting. Here's the count.
They get it away. Doney backs up, catches it at midfield. Right. He fumbles the football, but he's able to.
His knee was down.
Yep. Of course, he was in a hurry to pick up the football because he thought it could be a fumble.
Right, and he got on as soon as he had possession of it and his knee was down. And I know the coaches don't like it. You see him out there going, hey, he hit my defenseless player, but he didn't have possession of the ball. So you can go after him all the way until he actually has possession of that ball, and it was not until the last second. Good no call by the official there.
So Rapid City Stevens with a chance, 9:27. We'll see if they can sustain a drive here, maybe chew up some of that clock. Last year they lost to Sioux Falls Roosevelt 42-0.
Wow.
That was a Roosevelt team that finished 8-1 last year and missed that championship game as they lost in the semifinals to Harrisburg by just 2 points. They'll hand the ball off to Glenn, and he is met by a brick wall there as he actually didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He loses 2.
Yeah, that was Richard Benenji that time, the 6'2", junior coming in. We haven't called his name today, and I think, is he the one slow to get up? He's the one that made the hit at first.
We do have an injury timeout as they take the helmet off and they are tending to the injured Rough Rider. So we will take a break as well with 9:13 left in the fourth quarter. On the State Farm scoreboard, it's 22-7. Rapid City Stevens leading Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Security First Bank is the bank that knows your name, solves your problems, and stays flexible to make personal or business banking a whole lot easier. Because when you're the bank, you're built on people, relationships, trust, and straight talk. Security First Bank. We're the bank, but more importantly, we're your bank. Member FDIC. When you
Or is it Gehring? Was that 9? Is that 8 or 9? 8. It is. It is finished.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. I'm Jerome Wickersham, sitting alongside Dean Gurr while he's doing most of the sitting. 9 minutes to play here.
I like to be comfy.
I like to stand up throughout the game. And so
he's excited, that's why.
The Raiders lead 22-7 on the State Farm scoreboard. Running to this near side, it's going to be Jed Jensen. He runs out of bounds, though. He's going to get some yards. Not enough for a first down as he runs out of bounds. It looks like they're marking him right at midfield.
Yeah, the officials are a little chintzy with that yardage, aren't they?
I thought he had more than that,
Yeah,
but they're
that's what I
only
thought,
saying
too.
a 5-yard or about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, but it was enough. Get just past the original line of scrimmage. He shouldn't have run it out of bounds. That's the only thing. He had it. He should have. I mean, you don't want to run along the sideline, especially if you're a quarterback, because they want to take you out. So he should have done maybe something different, slide, something, get down in order to, but you got to stay in bounds on that.
Mm-hmm. So now we're looking at 3rd and 9. There's the snap to Jensen. Jensen on a little curl route. Was it to Trocamoinen, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, and it was a good job that time by Matthew Gehring. He was the linebacker on Trocamoinen that time and was able to come up and knock that ball down. And now incomplete pass, so now you've got a stopped clock and a punt coming up. So the Raiders kind of doing all they can to try to keep these Rough Riders in this game.
3 and out for the Raiders as the special teams unit comes in. I believe it's going to be Kinzer again. That's Jordan Kinzer back deep at the 20-yard line. The Raiders get set to punt from inside their own 40. There's Mesmer with the punt. Kinzer takes it at the 15-yard line. And he's going to be ankle tackled as he tries to make his move. I think that's number 20.
Yeah, Lucas Conta.
Nice ankle tackle there by Lucas.
Yeah, it was, because it was actually a good punt. He did a good job. I thought he got rid of the punt quicker that time. Was able to get it downfield. A lot of leg into it. A nice, where was that? 10, 20, 30. That could have been a 50-yard punt, including the nice tackle at the very end of it. So good job pinning the Rough Riders back deep. And now you've got kind of the chess match kind of goes on. Do we stay aggressive? That's been our success, or do we kind of play a little bit conservative to try to make sure they don't get a big play and something big downfield?
They fake the handoff under pressure. They get the ball rid of. Tyree Nave to the 20, out to the 25-yard line, still on his feet. Finally tackled just shy of the 30-yard line. That was Tyree Nave, who we have not called his name a lot here in this second half particularly.
Right, and I think, he's a good hard runner, so, he can obviously do the between tackles runs, but I think you can really use his talents when you get him out into space, and they use it that time, a little screen pass, the guys get in front of him, so, again, the chess match continues.
That's going to be a first down out to the Rough Rider 29-yard line, going from left to right. Clock is running, 8 minutes remaining in this ball game. There's the snap. It'll go to Brower. Brower on this near side has a receiver. That is the Jackson Grevengood. And he's been a spark this afternoon or in this fourth quarter as he gets the first down out to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a good job that time, just getting the ball and executing it quickly, getting it out there. You're so far out, you're down on the sideline, but now you've got your linebackers who are probably covering one of the running backs. They have to get out there, and it's enough he can catch it and get upfield quick enough. Like you said, a good chunk was about 15 yards on that.
15 yards to the 44-yard line. Jackson Grebengood has that lone touchdown on a 91-yard touchdown reception, but he did most of the work running down that sideline. They fake the handoff, rolling out to his left, get rid of the football, and it is incomplete. Intended on that far sideline for DeAndre Joseph, who was diving for the football but comes up empty.
I'll tell you what, Coach Nelson was, like I said, he was pretty high on Brower coming into this game, thought he had a really good game. Right now, he's still struggling. He's not making some of the throws that he needs to kind of lead his team. He's made a couple of them and have been pretty decent, but there have been definitely some. When he's on the run, he definitely needs to work on his, on the run throws.
Brower from the shotgun. Looks down the middle of the field. Now back to the right. Had a receiver. He makes the catch. He was wide open. That's number 3. That's Jordan Kinzer.
Yeah, and so that's what happens when you that's one of the soft areas in that zone. You got guys that got looks like cover 3 defense there and, dropping back, not wanting anyone to beat you over the top, but you got the underneath guys there and that nice little, sometimes as much as a 10-yard cushion, and it almost looked like he just shoot a free throw or a three-pointer or something. He had some arc on that. I'm just going to throw it up in the air and dink it right in a bucket.
About a 16-yard pass play there to Jordan Kinzer. Ball on the Raider 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. And now Sioux Falls will take a timeout. They will burn.
I think Stevens is going to take the timeout.
So
yeah, the official pointed to.
He pointed, I thought,
one way.
The Rough Riders.
Yep, and you saw them kind of communicate. The officials got together. No, this guy took the timeout.
So once again, if you're Michael Scott on that sideline, your defense has played tough throughout this ball game. I mean, they have gotten after it, but right now, Rough Riders, they're down 22-7, but still some time left on this clock. What are you going to tell your defense?
Time. Well, first of all, they ran that screen play. We talked about the chess match that goes on, aggressive, not aggressive, and so they chose not to be aggressive, but the screen pass was so effective that now the Raiders are now kind of backed up a little bit, kind of not being as aggressive as maybe they have been the whole game, which has been successful for them plenty. So now they're a little tentative about it. Now that chess match continues, and he's probably talking to his defensive coordinator, hey, we might have to take a chance or two and go after these guys.
Trying to get the crowd into it here. 7:16 remaining. It's 1st and 10.
The Jevin McNabb there. His locks hanging out the back.
Down to 7:16. 1st and 10. Jackson Brower from the shotgun. He drops back. Again, likes to work the middle of the field, but he overthrows the intended receiver, Cruz Vaughn.
Yeah, a nice first down shot you want to take downfield. You're already in the opponent's territory. Take a good shot, see what they got, see how they're going to play this. After a timeout, you got to come out, you got to start trying to play against the other team, and what are they going to bring? Are they going to bring pressure? They brought a little bit that time, but not nearly as much, so that's set up now this play. He gets to decide. I think they might send someone deep on this one.
They'll go trips right, one receiver to the left. Here's Jackson Brower, the little screen pass to the right side. Vaughn makes the catch. He's at the 35, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line.
And I think they're going to get him on a horse collar, kind of the last second. There was a little bit extra on the last. I didn't think it was quite a horse collar, but it was kind of right in front of the bench. Really hard to see, and so now they're going to talk about it here. It looked like the Raider walked away, maybe a little bit disgust. Disgust was Aiden Unterbrenner. Thinking, man, did I do that? Is that me?
Again, it's Royce Wurtzer, your official today, talking to Randy Stanton.
and it was a personal foul. So it was either something out of bounds or something like that happened extracurricular. Yeah, we talked about mistakes like this whole entire game because there have been plenty of them by both teams. The Raiders have been able to overcome them. Now Sioux Falls Roosevelt hopefully can, for their sake, take advantage of the Raiders' mistake here.
So after that personal foul, the ball is moved all the way down to the Raider 18-yard line. 1st and 10. Sioux Falls Roosevelt with the football from the shotgun. Here's Brower, fakes the handoff, throws to the end zone. It is up, and it is caught by the receiver. Touchdown, Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Got an amazing catch. Okay, so it's radio, so how much you can see. You saw Brower get underneath. He made a signal to the receiver on that side. Kind of he tapped his butt or a little hand signal saying, hey, run this, run that route. Whatever the communication between the two, that hand signal came, and it was just that one-on-one matchup. I thought the coverage was good, but he just out-leaped the defender, was able to make that haul, and the Rough Riders are right in this game.
It was Matt Gearing who made that 18-yard touchdown strike, or on the receiving end there from Jackson Brower. Here's the extra point attempt. And it is good with 6:58. Plenty of time left on the clock. On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by Agent Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, it's Rapid City Stevens 22, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 14. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and foxsportsrapidcity.com.
We're the bank. Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gerg right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And Dean, I have to admit, I'm getting a little nervous. I was comfortable with that 22-0 lead.
That wasn't comfortable at all for me. I knew what they had abilities to do.
Inside the 10-yard line, Uriah Glenn takes it out, and he's going to dive forward to about the 26-yard line. But this is where we need to see that Raider defense. They looked good early. Or the Raider offense, I'm sorry. They looked like they were finding rapport, on that receiving core and just started to gel a little bit. But now we're just seeing things just not clicking offensively for Rapid City Stevens, but they need to chew up some of this clock.
Yeah, they by no means turned their offense into this machine by any means. They've made some plays, done a great job, done what they had to do to get to where they're at right now, but the last couple of series have not gone their way at all. They kind of started looking like they did last week, just unable to punch it in.
So now coming up, it's going to be Jed Jensen. He hands it off to Glenn. Glenn escapes one tackler, still on his feet. He's out the 30, the 35, 40, gets out to midfield, racing down the left sideline. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Uriah Glenn. A 74-yard touchdown run.
And just like that, a great one, a missed tackle. How about the running effort of Uriah Glenn? We talked about their ineffectiveness the last couple of series, but the series before that, when they just gave it to Glenn and he just drove through people and he ran with purpose and spunk and like he was on fire, and that's exactly what happened there. We were expecting that out of Glenn this year, and early on he struggled a little bit. That, like you said, 17 yards that first game, and now he's finally kind of getting into his rhythm here. Shows his speed, his running ability.
Here's the extra point attempt by Parker Mesmer. This one is good with 6:35 to go in the fourth quarter. The Raiders answer on that 74-yard touchdown run by Uriah Glenn. On the State Farm scoreboard, it's Rapid City Stevens 29 and Sioux Falls Roosevelt 14. Still plenty enough time, but at least a little bit of a cushion there for Rapid City Stevens, and you needed to get that offense. I mean, that's such a confidence boost right there.
Oh, yeah, right. And you knew Stevens was just going to march, 5-10 yards and just march down the field and score, okay? That's just not what they have. The Roosevelt defense isn't going to allow that, but they're looking for some big plays. They made some big plays today. Big players making big plays, and the Raiders, extend their lead and their confidence. They're like, hey, we're ahead of this game, and we are by no means out of it. There's no way, and that's the sign of a well-coached team, that he can inspire their kids to, thinking maybe a little bit of intimidation from Sioux Falls, but instead the Raiders are like, no, we're not intimidated. We are ready to play, and we're not going to fold in the fourth quarter and let this team, a very talented Roosevelt Rough Rider team, come back on us.
What I like the way on that last play, Uriah Glenn, just one play, 74 yards. But again, there was a couple of missed tackles, but he just kept moving his feet, and once he saw he was into open field, he just turned the Jets on.
Yeah, we saw him last year. He obviously struggled. 600 yards isn't a tremendous amount, and Stevens in general as a team struggled last year. And I think the year before then, he showed a lot of promise. So I was excited to see him last year. It didn't quite mount, and now he's early on this season. Not much success first game, but definitely a couple of big plays here and hard running today.
Yep, over 100 yards rushing on the day for Uriah Glenn. Here's Parker Mesmer with that kick. It'll be taken, I think that's Nelson Wright back there. It is him. He gets it out past the 20. Still on his feet out to the 25 as he tries to spin out of a tackle on that return. And he's going to be stopped at about the 29-yard line.
So now the pressure against the Raiders defense, the Rough Riders were, for the most part, able to kind of march right down the field. Now it's back to the same situation we were before the last drive. How much pressure do you put on them? How much do you drop back? How safely do you look at that, and do you apply for what you need to do to get the big stop here?
The Raider defense didn't get much of a break that time, but I think they'll take that touchdown.
Right.
So Jackson Brower will lead the troops up to the line of scrimmage for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line. There's the snap out of the gun. He'll roll out to his right, get rid of the football. Making the catch and staying in bounds was number 18, Jackson Grevengood, who has had a big second half for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Yeah, it was a great job and a great catch. Great job of bringing their feet in. Just, again, a deep out. The soft part of that zone, not wanting to get beat deep. But if you don't put pressure, they've been putting, the Raiders have pretty good pressure on Brower today, but now he's able to kind of roll out of the pocket, and when he can set his feet, he throws much better than he does when he's on the run.
24-yard pickup for Grevengood. Again, 1st and 10. Under pressure, gets rid of the football, and it is overthrown. I think, again, it was not a great thrown pass just because he was hit as he was thrown,
right,
or as he threw the pass.
So was that, or was there like a miscommunication? Did he... Because the receiver was not anywhere near where he was throwing.
So now we're looking at 2nd and 10 coming up for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
This might be a really, really long quarter. We still got 6 minutes to go, and it seems like we've been in this fourth quarter quite a while. The sun might set before we get done here.
So Jackson Brower from the gun once again. Screen pass to the right side. Tyree Nave makes the catch. He's into Raider territory. Still on his feet as he works the sidelines.
He stepped
out of bounds inside the 40.
And just trying to tiptoe down the sideline. But that's what Nave does. Like I said, the first touchdown by Sioux Falls Roosevelt last week, Nave broke 4 tackles and was able to punch it in from about 20, 30 yards out. So he ran hard and ran around the outside.
So the clock is stopped at 6:04 to go here in this fourth quarter. Rapid City Stevens by 15. Again, thanks for watching. on GoRaidersLive.com. Again, this game coming your way on Fox Sports Rapid City. Jackson Brower from the gun once again rolls out to his left, had trips left, got rid of the receiver, or got rid of the football to a receiver on the out route there. That's going to be number 7, Cruz Vaughn, but a little too high for him to bring it in.
Yeah, Carter Doney right beside him. I think if he hits it, nice little throw right, it'll be just perfect. But again, he's on the move, and he's not nearly as effective on the move.
Now just under 6 minutes to play. 2nd and 10 once again coming up from the 37-yard line of Rapid City Stevens. Looks like it's close. Yeah, 37-yard line.
They inched it back a bit.
They did.
So.
Spread offense now from the gun. Brower, left side, has a receiver on a little screen pass. He's at the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Was that Jordan Kinzer who made that catch?
Yeah, nice. Again, you get the ball out of his hands quick when there's lots of pressure. You get the ball out of his hands into a nice little screen pass. The Raiders were kind of playing back a little bit, so it's going to give him lots of room to run. Blockers in front of him.
So they place the ball at the 23-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 14 yards. 1st and 10 on the Raider 23. Jackson Brower for the Rough Riders takes the snap from the gun, fakes the handoff, looks to the middle of the field. He's going to air it out for the end zone. It is up, and it's incomplete. Almost a one-handed catch there. The receiver tried to bring it in. I think that was number 9, Matthew Gearing, who already has 1 touchdown catch.
Yeah, so obviously they're seeing something, the matchup between Gearing and whoever is covering him. But, yeah, he had to elevate a little bit to what he get. I thought maybe he might knock it down right into his hands. But
that's what I was thinking, maybe tip it to himself.
Right, but the defender was right underneath him, so he really couldn't do that.
So incomplete, now 2nd and 10 coming up. 2nd and 10 for the Rough Riders. Here's Brower once again. Fakes the handoff. Under pressure, gets rid of the football. A little screen pass to Nave. Nave still on his feet. He's at the 20. Gets to the 15-yard line before he is tackled by number 4. And that's Carter Doney who makes the stop.
Yeah, he stepped right out of the tackle of Brandon Inman. That's, they're coming out now. The Raiders have shown, hey, we're going to start coming after you now. So they did. Good play call by Kim Nelson right in there. And Nave almost didn't get away from it, which means he did. Obviously, Inman just had him and just couldn't bring him down. But Nave just able to kind of step out of those tackles and keep those legs churning.
That was a 7-yard gain. Now 3rd and 3. They give the ball to Nave. Nave has some has some running room. He's headed for the end zone, and he's in, but we do get a penalty marker. But Nave takes it to pay dirt, but is this one coming back?
Yeah, kind of right up the middle. He did a good job. He was very patient as he kind of went through the line, read his blocks, and kind of weaved through the trees and tiptoed right into the end zone. But now we're going to get a big discussion here by the officials and what we got going on. There was a Raider that got up and was limping a little bit.
It would have been a 15-yard touchdown run. We'll see if it stands.
We're going to get a little extra help here from the side guy, Randy Stanton. The active hands of Royce Wurtzer, pointing here, pointing there. And he's going to ask them what they want. Is he going to give them the...
face mask.
But they're going to decline. Yeah, it's good. And they're going to enforce it on the
kickoff.
Kickoff, yep. I didn't think they could do that. But
so the 15-yard touchdown run by Tyree Nave will stand.
You can see the special teams coach right now getting his hands team ready. Although there's plenty of time to get it, but you don't want to give them those extra opportunities, and you can take advantage of it.
Here's the extra point attempt, and this one is no good.
That was
How
huge.
huge was that?
Yeah, absolutely huge. Now they can't go for 2 points. The next time they have to go for something different. So that was absolutely huge.
So 4:38 to go on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agent Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Here in the fourth quarter, it's Rapid City Stevens 29, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 20. We're back in 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Fox.
Star Spangled Batter on Jackson Boulevard in Rapid City, South Dakota. Famous for their delicious cakes, cupcakes, and other tasty baked goods. But did you know they're the only bakery in town to offer free consultations? Not to mention free samples when planning your big or small wedding. They also take special orders for that special party for that special someone. Check out their daily specials on Facebook or call ahead to grab some goodies for the office on your way to work. Star Spangled Batter is a proud sponsor of Rapid City sports and activities on liveticket.tv.
Not doing it if you get a good kickoff and good return and then stop it back there versus here.
And we're back here at the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. I'm Jerome Wickersham alongside Dean Gurr, and we've had 3 touchdowns in this fourth quarter. This game has stayed close. Rapid City Stevens jumped out. They led 22-0 at one point, but now it is 29-20. Rapid City Stevens by 9. And the Raiders will get the football. But, Dean, what do you see? What are the Rough Riders going to do?
Well, they took a long time in the huddle. You see everyone talking. He's just not telling them to stay in their lanes. He's telling them, and you see the hands guy. There's Matt Gearing is out there. Tyree Nave is out there. I see Jordan Kinzer out there. So they got the hands team. They're going to go for an onside kick.
And if you're the Raiders, you have to be prepared.
And it's a 5-yard penalty, so they're going to kick it from the 45 because of the face mask penalty.
The only person back deep is Uriah Glenn. Everybody else is closer to that 35 or 45-yard line. There's the kick.
Good hit. It hit him.
Is it going to be Sioux Falls Roosevelt? They're going to jump on it. It went 10 yards, and they are going to discuss it.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It went 10 yards.
It went 10 yards. It was recovered, and it's going to be Sioux Falls.
He just said the Raiders ball.
The Raiders ball.
He just pointed Raiders, and they're going to what's going on here?
I think I'm a little confused myself.
I
thought it was going to be Rough Rider football.
These are those intense situations where they got to talk. Coach Scott does not like it. You can see him turn around and shrug his shoulders. And man, I can't believe that just happened.
Now he points the other way.
Yeah, I think he was pointing to the ground. Royce Wurtzer was pointing to the ground.
So 4:36 to go in this fourth quarter. 29-20. Rapid City Stevens leading by 9. From the shotgun now, Brower drops back, has a receiver. He makes the catch, and he's going to fall out of bounds. That's number 11, DeAndre Joseph, and that's going to be enough for a first down for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, and they had to do the onside to try to get it because you're down 2 scores.
29-20. So a touchdown and an extra 2-point conversion will not do it. Clock is stopped at 4.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Brower, screen pass to the left side, gets it out to Grevengood. He breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. But boy, is he running hard in this second half.
Yeah, definitely. He's been a big-time spark for the Rough Riders, and just getting the ball in his hands. Instead of throwing the ball downfield, they're just short little plays. Hey, we got a bunch of athletes. Let's get in their hands and let them run.
That's another first down for the Rough Riders, down to the 22-yard line. First and 10. They'll send 2 receivers to each side. Tyree Nave is lined up to the right of Brower. Brower has a man in motion, hands it off to Grevengood. Grevengood looks like he wants to pass. Instead, he tucks it in. He's at the 20, the 15, still on his feet, spins out of a tackle, and gets all the way down to the 15-yard line. 5-yard line. I'm sorry, the 5.
Yeah, the Raiders did a great job of covering that little halfback option that they were going to run. But, yeah, when Grevengood gets it, man, he is running hard.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got to come out. He needs a blow here. He's like, get away from me, get away from me.
Jackson is 5'8", 185 pounds.
And working as hard as he can to try to bring his team this victory here.
So now 1st and goal. We'll see what the Raider defense does. Jackson Brower has a man in motion. That's Vaughn. Are we going to get a timeout, though? They're pointing to Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Yeah, there was somebody running in at the last second, getting, that stuff you see in the first week. Actually, well-coached teams, you don't usually see that, but sometimes in the first week, you're still thinking player personnel type of thing. And so, here they are trying to mount a comeback here. You're trying to move people in the right spot, and get them in the right people, personnel packages on the field to do what they need to do. But yeah, with 3:47, tons of time, they're down 2 scores. They punch this in, another onside kick.
I guess, you look at, when Rapid City, whether Central Stevens faces a Sioux Falls school, it's really hard to count them out. Yeah. I mean, they have fought back into this ball game after being down 22-0, and now it's 29-20.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when you're, this is not a dig, but when you're out of games quickly, you don't deal with opposing teams' hurry-up offense. You just don't deal with that very much, so they're not used to seeing it because you're used to being out of games. Now you got to step up as a team, as a coaching staff, get the right personnel, the right players in the right spots.
Jackson Brower from the shotgun, fakes the handoff to Neve. He heads for the end zone. And Jackson Brower, the sophomore quarterback, takes it in from 5 yards out to pay dirt. And it is 29-26, awaiting the extra point.
Yeah, just a great play call there. Everybody thinking Nave's going to get the ball right up the middle, and he held it in his gut for a half a second, and then you could see he's not the most athletic guy. He's not a sprinter runner. He's definitely a pocket thrower. He can move well in the pocket, but he's a pocket thrower. But either way, you get it. He pulls it down, and he limps his way into the end zone. And
here's the extra point attempt. There's the snap, the hold. The kick is good. That brings it to within 2 on the State Farm scoreboard with 3:41 to go in the fourth quarter. Rapid City Stevens 29, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 27. And now if you're the Raiders, again, you have to be ready for what Sioux Falls Roosevelt's going to throw at you at special teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Another version of an onside kick somehow, somewhere. There's still 3:41, so it's not ridiculous to think that you can kick it or not do an onside kick, but the way your defense is playing, you don't want it in the hands of the Raiders offense. Either way, your defense is playing well here, especially in this second quarter. They gave up fourth quarter, they gave up that one big play by the Raiders, but for the most part, they have just really stymied this Raider offense, and that's kind of what we expected at the onset of the game. I didn't think the score was even going to be this high.
Yeah, we expected like a defensive battle, like you said, a low-scoring game. And it's 29-27 with 3:41 remaining. Again, you're tuning in to high school football on Fox Sports Rapid City and foxsportsrapidcity.com. Of course, we want to thank you for watching on GoRaidersLive.com. As we get set for this kickoff, the Raiders, again, the Rough Riders, will kick off from the 40. We see 10 players up there.
Who was willing to...
And Uriah Glenn's the only one back.
I'll tell you what I see right now. It's right over the top of that minor. There is a wide open gap. You literally could kick it and then run. If he can get that roll and that kick, you could run right to him.
Raider faithfuls on their feet in the grandstand there, waiting this kickoff by Sioux Falls Roosevelt. And this one is going to be a high kick. It'll be taken by Glenn at the 20-yard line, out to the 25, to the 30, and he's going to be stopped just shy of the 35-yard line.
So Coach Nelson's going to put it in the hands of his defense.
Yep. And here comes Rapid City Stevens. The Raiders just trying to convert some first downs here, just chew up this final 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Or what they're hoping for, too. They would love to get a long touchdown, but again, you just want that clock to wind down.
Right, and they're probably not, it's not going to be, as much as you like to see it, to hand the ball up the middle, I don't think they're just going to try to chew the clock by trying to get that out. The Rough Riders have 2 timeouts.
Jed Jensen fakes the handoff. He's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked at the 25-yard line. He faked the handoff, and then as soon as he was trying to make his move there, he is going to be sacked. And I think the Rough Riders, did they take a timeout?
Well, they're giving him a timeout as soon as the play was over with.
Now the Rough Riders are fired up. You see that defense there. That's a loss of 16, so the Raiders now looking at 2nd and 16. A loss of 6, rather, for to 2nd and 16.
I'll tell you what, it's not ridiculous to put someone like Easton Ogle out wide, get a snap, and he just throws the ball either on a post route or a go route.
Mm-hmm.
That's not ridiculous, because you know that Roosevelt is going to come after it because they want the ball back. They're trying to force a turnover or something like that. And I know you want to keep the ball moving, but you get a big play out of that.
So Rapid City Stevens, they're back to the line of scrimmage. Here comes the Rough Rider defense of Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
And we haven't seen but one play to Julian Scott today. That's another one. But we see Easton Ogle. He is the wide to the right, all by himself.
On this near side, Scott lined up in the slot. Trocamoinen on that near sideline. They'll hand it off to Glenn. He cuts back to his left, has some running room to the 30, close to the 35-yard line. Does he have enough for a first down? It's very close.
Oh, no, that's the original first down.
I'm sorry, that's the original. Got ahead of myself
there.
Right. I was hoping for a first down, but now Kim Nelson takes a quick timeout there to stop the clock at 3:21.
Yeah, so now you got 3rd and 9. Now you really have to go for it.
So 3rd and 9 coming up. We will keep it here so we don't miss any of the action. Is that the last timeout? That is it for Sioux Falls Roosevelt, so they can't stop the clock anymore. But how big if Rapid City Stevens could convert, get that first down?
Right.
How big would that be at this point?
Yeah, they still need a couple of first downs here in order to make something happen. So they're a long way from doing what they need to do. But you think, do something to make the clock run down? No, that's really not what you need. You really need a first down. So they're going to have to throw the ball. They've been able to do that with limited but some success today. Who's he putting? He's putting Trocamoinen on the right-hand side. So is that your ISO player? He's going to throw the ball up to him. Again, they're going to drop back into his zone here.
From the shotgun, Jensen drops back, looks to his right, has a receiver. Trocamoinen makes the catch. He's down to the 40-yard line of the Rough Riders.
Yeah, and a nice little post route that he ran. He ran up the field, and he was they showed man coverage at first, and then you saw them drop back at the zone in just a second there. So Trocamoinen ran right at him, planted his foot, came to the middle of the zone. The middle safety was a cover 3 defense, so the middle safety wasn't there to make that spot, make the hit where he needed to, and Trocamoinen just went right in the middle of between the 2 zones there.
What a day for Trocamoinen, over 140 yards receiving for Alex Trocamoinen. Again, they'll hand the ball off to Glenn.
Get it, stay in bounds, stay in bounds.
He gets to the 40, actually the 39-yard line, but he wisely stays in bounds, so that clock continues to run.
Yeah, they still need one more first down. And what are we going to get? A penalty? The last
a flag on this near side by Randy Stanton.
It was very, very late. I'm kind of curious what that's going to be.
And I think it might be against the Raiders. Early indication. I'm not sure if we can pick up Royce again.
Sportsmanlike is on the Raiders.
It was.
That is, yeah. They had one of those last week, and it was costly for them as they're trying to, sustain a drive, and that's just hurts.
Absolutely. Now the ball back at the Raider 46-yard line, so you're looking at second and what is that? 10, 20, about 24
they're not even
yards.
ready. They got a 25-second clock, so they I don't know why they're even running a play, or running rather right to the line.
Here's Jensen. Rolls out. Now he passes. Has a receiver. Ogle makes the catch at the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Easton Ogle.
That is incredible. What a backside. Those are the throws that you see people like John Elway make. I hate to say that, not a big Broncos fan, but still. Rolls to one side and back route, and what a cannon and a spot throw by Jed Jensen. Absolutely making a great throw. Tanner Lunders was the defender, and I said this earlier, when you got somebody rolling away from you and you're the defense, you have a tendency to kind of let go, thinking, he's not going to roll to the opposite direction and throw across the field. He's a right-hander. He's not going to stop and throw the ball all the way back to the right side when he's running to the left.
Parker Mesmer will come on for the extra point attempt. But you're breathing a little bit easier if you're Rapid City Stevens now. 36-27 on the State Farm scoreboard as the extra point attempt is good. So it's a 9-point lead for Rapid City Stevens with 2:18 to go. That's 3 touchdown passes on the day now for Jed Jensen. 2 of them to Alex Trokamoinen, and then that 54-yarder to Easton Ogle.
Just absolutely incredible. Jed Jensen stepping up. A lot of players stepping up, making those big plays. And I know Kim Nelson's that's going to be his post-game talk, his interview talk coming up. We got to, A, not hurt ourselves, and B, not give up those big plays. So just the Raiders making big plays against that secondary of Sioux Falls Roosevelt. And we said it on the onset of the program. If there's a weakness in their defense, it is that secondary, and the Raiders were able to exploit it. And, that's something that Sioux Falls O'Gorman was not able to do. They were just not able to make those plays, and they were able to get the win, but they only had a couple of plays here or there. The Raiders have definitely far exceeded that output by the O'Gorman Knights.
And, Dean, I think you're going to have a lot of choices for our player of the game coming up at the conclusion of this ball game if the Raiders hold on.
My head is already spinning at who the heck I'm going to pick. I'm kind of leaning toward one, but it's going to be about a 3-4-way battle here. It's like a primary here.
Give it to the defense. I mean, there's a lot of choices here.
You're right. It is. It could easily be a couple of defensive players too.
So again, Parker Mesmer will kick off from the 40. 2:18 remaining. The post-game show coming up at the conclusion of this ball game. There's the kick to the 20-yard line. It'll take a bounce. Tyree Nave will let it go out of bounds.
Oh, man, that was close.
There comes the penalty marker. Actually, it was number 18, Jackson Grevengood, who lets it roll out of bounds.
Right, and so that was, you're just trying to make a play. You got to give them the effort. Nice job with that. Putting it where you need to. Just kind of got the unfortuitous bounce, not where you wanted to.
So they move the ball out to the 35-yard line.
But they have no timeouts, and they need 2 scores.
Again, both of these teams are 0-1 coming into this contest. So both of these teams, one will leave with that first victory of the season. For the Raiders, they're hoping to get that first victory because they went 0-7 last year. Here's Jackson Brower, has a man in motion. There's the snap to Brower. Brower is going to be hit as he tried to get rid of the football, and there it is. It's picked up by the Raiders, and they take it in for a score.
What a turn of events. How about, I might have to give it to the Raiders defense. What a great job that time. That's Luke Jagaris getting the fortuitous bounce right into his hands. Yep. The big sack. I didn't see who got the sack. I definitely wanted to get that one, but a huge play by the Raiders to basically solidify this game.
Luke Jagaris having a huge game. He had an interception earlier and now a fumble recovery for a touchdown. that just makes it even harder now for that player of the game.
Yeah.
So many players contributing today for Rapid City
Very
Stevens.
hard.
That one was what, about a 25-yard?
Yeah, I would say 20 because they were started at the 25 and he dropped back, so I'd say about the 20.
So the extra point attempt is good. With 2:10 to go here in the fourth quarter on the State Farm scoreboard, it's Rapid City Stevens 43, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 27. We're back in 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and foxsportsrapidcity.com, as well as GoRaidersLive.com.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, keep it simple. Insure your car and home with Farm Bureau, and you'll have a combined policy with one deductible that can cover it all. That means faster claim resolution and less hassle. Plus, you can save money in the long run. It's the quick way back to normal, because with Farm Bureau, you've got an agent who can make things right when things go wrong. Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Call me, Tom Berger, your Farm Bureau agent in Rapid City, at 348-3470.
Sales, service, and detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and side-by-sides. Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr with you. We've had 6 touchdowns alone in this fourth quarter, and on the State Farm scoreboard, Rapid City Stevens looks like they've solidified the win this afternoon. They lead 43-27 over Sioux Falls Roosevelt with 2:10 remaining, barring anything happening in the next 2 minutes and 10 seconds. This one, the ball will go out of bounds once again as they kick it to that far sideline against the grandstands, so they will bring that ball out.
Starting into the 35, now you're down plenty. Here was a 16, you're down 16 points, 2 minutes, no timeouts.
And that's 4 turnovers on the day, 2 interceptions, and 2 fumbles for Sioux Falls Roosevelt with 1 return for a touchdown.
Yeah, they look like they were just collecting it all together, struggled all day. Now they were putting it together, going to make something happen and overcome their mistakes, and then it just came up and bit them again.
Brower screen pass to that left side. Breaking one tackle is number 9. That's going to be Matthew Gearing. Gets out to about the 40-yard line, about the 39.
And he doesn't get out of bounds. He's right on the sideline there. He needs to get out of bounds.
So the clock will continue to run. Again, they were 1st and 10 on the 35, so they get 4 yards on that pass play. 2nd and 6.
There's going to be no pressure. 3-man rush.
Jackson Brower from the shotgun fakes the handoff. He's getting pressure or under pressure. Gets rid of the football. And it is incomplete. It was intended for, I believe that number 14 is John Parker.
Yep, it was. And we got a Rough Rider down here for a second. But, again, not a strong suit. Brower not able to complete the pass on the run. I think both the defender and the receiver had equal opportunity to get that. But we saw a lot of these last week. Cramps now, they're kind of rearing at least their first ugly head here this afternoon with just 1:33 to go, and we have 3rd and 6 now for the Rough Riders. And man, what can you say about? We pinpointed it so well to start the game. The first thing we said was mistakes, and the mistakes have been galore all over the place on both sides of the ball. You talked about turnover. We saw penalties that looked like it was going to be doomsday for one team or another, and you're like, man, what do these guys got to do to get things to get out of their own way? But each team battling back, overcoming their mistakes, trying to make plays. They are making them here and there, and just coming together. The Raiders definitely as a team.
Here's Jackson Brower. He'll take the snap from the gun, rolls out to this near side or to the right, decides to tuck it in, but he's going to be sacked. Actually, back at the line. No, he is going to be a sack because he did lose yards back to the original line of scrimmage.
Guess who? Another candidate, Luke Cholis, getting in there and making the hit. It looked like he had an opportunity. Looks like 3 guys. One was covered, one guy was right in the middle of the field, and one guy was heading toward the sideline. I don't know if he couldn't decide and where to put it, but it looked like there were a couple of opportunities for him.
Dean, last year Rapid City Stevens did not put up more than 28 points in any of their games last year. And so already 43 today. We're seeing a much different Raider team than we saw last year. With that senior leadership, dropping back is Brower now for Sioux Falls Roosevelt down the middle of the field. Has a receiver. He makes the catch on the run. He's out the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and in for the touchdown is number 7, Cruz Vaughn.
That is a great throw that time. Just the defender was right there with him, but a great shot. Like I said, he definitely throws much better in that pocket when he has an opportunity here. They're going to go for 2. They're down by 10. That's 2 wants to get him down to a 1-score game here. 34 seconds to play. You've got onside kick coming up here. This is a crucial one here. If he gets to stop here, then that's going to be the game.
Can you believe, though, Dean, 7 touchdowns between these two teams alone in this fourth quarter?
So much for our theory of this of a low-scoring defensive game. I thought defenses played really well today. I think a lot of the scoring was really just big plays, giving up big play opportunities. And so it wasn't that, like we said, they didn't just keep chunking 5 and 10 yards at a time downfield, push all the way down. It was big play, big play, big play. Kind of an exciting game.
Actually, it was. And again, we were 15-0 at halftime. Rapid City Stevens led. They at one point led 22-0 until the first touchdown finally late in that third quarter by Sioux Falls Roosevelt. But like I said, since that time, we're looking at a 43-33 Rapid City Stevens lead, awaiting that extra point attempt coming up, or going for 2 for Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
Yeah, and the Raiders calling timeout. How are they going to set this up and be ready for what to expect? This is where your film study comes together. What kind of play are they going to? They're probably going to do something weird. It's not just going to be handoff to Nave up the middle. And they may show that and may make that look, but it might be a sprint to the outside. It might be a halfback option. It might be a throw up in the air, an isolation throw. Just to try to get something. But it's going to be something probably a little bit weird.
Here's the 2-point attempt there. There's the handoff. It goes to number 3. That's going to be Jordan Kinzer, and he is going to be stopped shy of the goal line.
And that's going to be the game right there. Obviously, 34 seconds. It's not over, but they still have 2 scores to go. So they need a ball back, a turnover. They have no timeouts.
Things look pretty good for Rapid City Stevens.
Right, or they need to, recover the onside kick, which is going to happen again.
I would say this fourth quarter probably has lasted as long as the entire first half, or it seems like it has.
It might be. I'm glad I didn't have a dinner date tonight.
Again, we want to thank you for listening to high school football on Fox Sports Rapid City and also online at foxsportsrapidcity.com. And also thanks for watching at GoRaidersLive.com.
It's a fairly good tailgating section here. When I was coming in, I had to go through a parking lot celebration here. They were tailgating here, and I wanted to swipe some of the dogs that they had there. But, and I could smell them earlier. But either way, nobody's up and leaving. That's always an exciting thing. And you just got the crowds out there. They're on their feet. They're excited to cross the way as well.
Yeah, and just a perfect Saturday afternoon game on a long weekend.
I think we were right about the sun setting. It's still 34 seconds, and I think the sun's either behind the clouds or almost down there.
So here comes that onside kick attempt. Elijah, is it number 12 that'll be kicking?
Is it 12 or 13?
13. So Dane Mediger, a 5'9", 155-pound senior. He'll be kicking from the 40. With 34 seconds remaining, a 10-point Rapid City Stevens lead. Here's the kick.
I'm shocked.
Uriah Glenn back deep. And he will take a knee as he catches the football at the 23-yard line.
Smart.
So Rapid City Stevens now, there's no way for them to stop the clock. All they need to do is take a knee.
Yep, take a knee and that's it. I thought they might try it. Give it a whirl. You know, why not? You got 34 seconds. I know you need 2 scores, but if you, I don't know. So it's worth it. You get it. You throw it into the end zone, get a touchdown, come back and do it again.
Rapid City Stevens in victory formation here. Now, will they need to take a knee twice?
Nope. 40-second clock.
Oh, okay. So they take a knee, and that should be it as the clock continues to run at 25 seconds. And Coach Scott will get his first win as head coach of the Rapid City Stevens Raiders.
Exciting, yeah, they're just, I mean, how about that? If you think about it, last year, how they just, Jed Jensen goes down, I don't remember if it was the first or second game, you know, we were there, I think, when he got injured, and I think just the air went out of the sails of the Raiders, and they had some expectations. They knew Jed Jensen was a sophomore, but he's also, you know, a talented sophomore to come in and play. And they had other expectations. They had some talented receivers that potentially to come out from the year before, some really talented wideouts, and thinking maybe he could use this passing and scrambling ability and use those athletes. They didn't come out for football, instead focusing on other careers, which is, you know, hey, their choice, and that's all, you know, they got to look out for what they got to do. But so I think just the air and everything down last year, and so I don't think expectations were hugely high, except for right in that huddle, right in that locker room. They knew what they had and the talent they had coming back, and to get out and show it today, I mean, they showed it. Last week's 14-0 loss and almost a win, like I said, they were inside the 5 twice. Last week's game was not a fluke. They came out here, they beat the number 3 team in the state, and it isn't that they played a perfect game by any means. Both teams, a lot of sloppy play out there. They had to battle their own selves, and still, and it looked like that the Rough Riders were going to come back, but instead they come together and make some plays. Just a tremendous, tremendous win for the Raiders.
And the Raiders are celebrating as they go to 1-1 on the season. Sioux Falls Roosevelt drops to 0-2. The final score on the State Farm scoreboard, it's Rapid City Stevens 43, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 33. We will be back with our post-game show when we return in 2 minutes right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and foxsportsrapidcity.com.